Okay. From the top?
Make it drop.
Okay.
That's inappropriate content. Sorry.
Dear ladies of Goatship Downs, you have been cordially invited to the Burnt Bridgeson annual courtship ball. As you are all of age and a kind benefactor has agreed to sponsor each of you with a dowry, you shall meet eligible partners at this splendid occasion. It has been expressed by your mother that you think long and hard about the coming years ahead of you and consider a companion for the hardships of life ahead. Of course, there will be those that will make your life quite comfortable, but we do not want to encourage monetary envy over true honesty and chivalry. Unless, of course, luxury is your only concern, in which case, do what thou will. On the evening of August 14th, please arrive promptly at 4 o'clock sharp, dressed to impress her Lady Hensworth, our gracious host. There will be food, entertainment, games of chance, revelry, and of course, dancing. Your dance card has been pre-filled with the eligible that have already provided RSVPs. Come with a jovial attitude and fond thoughts of a future before you. Sincerely, Her Lady's Hand. So we begin our... We could begin our adventure at the Goatship Downs house, a humble home that is large enough to fit a widow and her 3 adopted daughters. Irena Swift is currently running around the house, helping her 3 eligible daughters get ready for the party that is taking place tonight. Each is in their own room, in their own outfits, so we will go through the halls to each room and introduce these lovely ladies before they head out for the night. We will start with the oldest. Charlotte, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, it's very nice to meet all of you. My name is Charlotte. I am the eldest of my mother's children, and I am a tiefling. I have always taken it upon myself to be the support of my family, wanting to make sure that I fulfill all of my mother's expectations after everything that she's done for us. And so for this party, I'm planning to look my very best, and I am getting ready to get dressed into my gown. I have requested a blue dress with a floral and butterfly detailing, much like my beloved garden. And I think it will go very well with my skin tone. I have a soft pink skin tone and white hair. So mostly she looks like this, but instead of the short little horns, I want them to, I was wanting them to be like the curl around type.
She's so cute! Ah! Oh, she looks so good in that dress! Ah!
So I'm making sure that my hair is braided and put up so that it is not too excessive. So braided and tucked up, pinned in place, and making sure that I look as proper and dainty and appropriate for this party as possible.
And how old is Charlotte?
She is 20.
Okay. Irena is kind of going around you, she doesn't have to do too much. You're her oldest. She's had the most time with you. She's braiding baby's breath into your braids to kind of accent the blue dress. And she's straightening it out. The entire time she's trying not to tear up as she looks over you, but she's still very proud. And she kind of fluffs out the dress a little bit more to take a look over the hem to make sure it's all done right. And then she looks at you. I'm so proud of you. I know this is difficult, and I've allowed you 3 to put these things off, but I am very proud of you for all the taking this next step. I don't want you out of the house anytime soon, but I do know that knowing that your future is secure is my top priority, and I hope you will encourage the other 2 to think in the same way.
I understand that, Mother, and I want to thank you again for everything that you've done for us. I know that the others, in particular, Ophi, have not always been the easiest. And so I will
You
do my
called
best.
it.
I will do my best to encourage them to take this seriously, but not try to force anything. I understand that, yes, we want to make sure that we are taken care of, but we don't want to end up in a loveless, fruitless marriage.
She dabs at her eyes. She says, I know, not everybody can meet their soulmate and then lose him crushingly months after losing her father and then receiving the
Oh my
inheritance
god.
from both and being able to afford the house and having enough to raise 3 random children that she found. But I hope that you have just as much luck and love.
Sounds the
Oh my
early
god.
death, right?
Oh my god.
Yes, sans the early death. I hope he lasts long. He, she, whoever you find. All right, now on to the next one. And she flits out. Erina is human, so she is shorter than most of her daughters. But she hurries down the hallway to the other human in the household, and she comes upon Ufi. So if Ufi could introduce herself.
Yeah, so my name is Ophi. Obviously, this is not what I would be saying to my mother because my mother very much knows me because she's my mother and that's kind of what her job is, right? So anyway, so my name is Ophi. I'm quite a little spitfire, I think. Oh, my hair is bright ginger and I have very pale skin, which I try my hardest to not have pale skin, but it doesn't really work most of the time. I go in the sun and I get sunburned and I turn red and it's just horrible. And I don't even look good red. I'm not like my sister who looks a nice pink. Like, I can't really do that. Anyway, so I'm particularly fond of making things. I quite pride myself on my seamstress skills, and I'm learning jewelry making at the moment. And in fact, I'm using some of my skills tonight with this nice little ball thing, whatever we're going to. I have this lovely green dress, but there's a problem with my dress, and that's that it doesn't have enough pumpkins on it. You see, I'm quite a fan of pumpkins. I think they're quite cute. They're little orange and they match with my hair. So I'm taking my dress and I'm sewing a bunch of little pumpkin appliques that I made, I don't know, a few months ago. I kind of keep them on hand and I'm putting them on my dress. And I'm very excited about it. And in the meantime, I think I've decided to make some jewelry pieces for my sisters and perhaps a cape. And I think I'm excited about this ball thing, but I'm not entirely sure because I'm a little bit too preoccupied with exactly
Ufi, you
how
better
well
be
I'm
dressed
doing.
by the time I get to the door.
Oh shit. Mother, it's a bit more complicated than that. I'm in the
knocking at
middle
the
of
door.
something. It's I go
You
and
better
I
not be
shove
putting
a
more
chair.
pumpkins on that thing.
I shove a chair under the door and I'm like, no, of course not. I'm doing my hair. My
Ufi,
hair
we
is
have less than a quarter hour to get on the road.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry, it's fine. I have everything.
If I see more than 4 pumpkins on that dress, my dear, you will be sleeping in the garden.
There's 16 already. I'm not taking them off. Pumpkins for the world, Mother.
Charlotte sticks her head out the door.
If she sleeps in the garden, she better not touch my chrysanthemums.
You put chrysanthemums. Fantastic. Can I put them on a dress?
No. Leave them alone. You know I don't trust you with my garden.
Note to self, get my sisters chrysanthemums. They will look very good on a dress.
Charlotte's just sitting at her vanity, like seething, knowing that this is gonna go wrong.
Irena is actually quite adept at dealing with her very interesting daughters and is able to hit the hinges out of the door and take it off of the frame.
Oh, Mother, I'm indecent.
Is she a barbarian?
Dear, I was here when the house was built. Are you ready?
Fine. I'll be ready.
Irena holds up these small clippers and she comes towards some of the applique pumpkins.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. They are precious and I want my soulmate to think like I do. And they must like pumpkins. And if they don't, then they are not worthy of my time. This is
I
a
love that
test,
his
Mother.
entire character is just like, I'm stubborn and pumpkins.
At least take the one that's in your hair out. It looks ridiculous.
Fine, that one does match my curls anyway, so it was just kind of blending in, so fine. So I take it out, I put some like leaves, just like legit leaves that I grabbed off the ground.
Arena takes the pumpkin going, Oofy, this is the one I was going to use for pie later.
Well, too bad. Mother, did you see my purse? And I pick up an actual, like a full-on pumpkin that I have carved out and just tied a string on.
God
No,
damn.
No, it's too big.
It's
too
so
big.
crazy.
Nope.
It's very
Nope.
no. It's small.
Nope.
It's
You
a
will
small
attract
pumpkin. I
vermin.
took one of
The answer is
tiny
no.
ones. Again, Mother, I'm looking
Put it
for
down.
my soulmate.
Put it yours.
Fine. So I put it down. And I say, oh, by the way, Mother, I've attached some of my favorite darts on my leg. I just tied them on with this cute little garter. I hope you don't mind. I think it'll be fun to take some of my poison darts with me. Don't you think that'd be nice? I think that'd be nice.
Arena looks at the darts and she actually just shrugs. Fine.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you, Mother. Did you see my garter has a pumpkin on it? Isn't that cute?
Arena turns and leaves. She goes.
But Mother, remember, I have gifts for my sisters before we leave, so make sure I give them. Thank you.
You
love
can
you.
give them in the carriage. We are already behind. She goes down the hallway to the last and youngest of her daughter, Theodosia. Do you want to introduce yourself as your mother knocks and enters?
Love the name.
Theodosia doesn't actually hear her mother knock. She's out on the balcony, kind of like just lost in her own world in a little book, a very pocket-sized book of poems that she keeps on her at all time, that she scribbled in the margins and looked at, and is just kind of lost in another verse. She's like got her nightgown, like her undergarments on, and her dress that she's supposed to be getting ready to put on for the party is actually still hanging up on the dress form to get put into. She hasn't even begun to put it on just yet, but it's a purple kind of like lavendery dress. I had put it in the Discord a little earlier. I have it up on the recording. I've been trying to put all of our images up on the recording of like what we look like and what that is. So that should be taken purple, very light lilac, almost like practically like the whitest purple basically you can get to, with different appliques and like a sweetheart neckline and little very, very Rapunzel-esque in my eyes personally, but and then Theodosia herself has these like large loose curls that she pins up on her head. Very dark, like almost brown black hair, very, very white pale skin, and very vivid blue eyes. Yeah, she's just kind of out there on the balcony.
So Arena comes in. Theodosia, are you jesting with me? Why are you not in your dress? Put the book down before I take it. And it ends up in tomorrow's stock.
I love that she was so close to being like, are you fucking kidding me?
Theodosia like quickly closes the book and like holds it to her chest. But I've only been out here for a half hour.
Yes, well, that's the half hour you were supposed to be using to get dressed, wasn't it?
No, I came up here after breakfast. It's not even it's maybe maybe 11 o'clock?
Try again, my dear.
She like actually like kind of
There's like an eye twitch.
Blinks her eyes open a little bit more and looks around and notices for the first time, like actually being pulled out of her book, that it is not 11. Oh no.
Yes. Oh no.
And she looks at her dress and at
Get your
her
knickers in the dress
her
before I
eyes.
throw you out the window.
eyes are as big as quarters, and like quickly like tries to like she starts to try and stand up, but she stands on her hem and starts to fall a little bit and like is stumbling to
Oh,
try to
God.
get up.
Arena like rolls her eyes, walks over, practically picks the girl up, and pulls her over, and is very quick with getting the dress over her, and all cinched up, and laced up, I guess technically.
It doesn't. Could it be a little looser, maybe?
She tightens it.
All right.
Can't leave room for the book. I know you're going to try and sneak in.
She's already got it shoved in there, like as we were lacing. It was starting
You
to.
can hear the crinkling when she tightens.
It was start the. It's a hard cover, like it's a hard cover, and so like it like was cutting
Oh,
into her a
God.
little bit. She's like, this is fine. If you feel it's absolutely necessary.
Charlotte walks in. Mother, would you like me to tend to Theodosia while you make sure that Ophi's not adding more pumpkins?
Oh no, she's going to do that anyway in the
Don't
carriage.
talk bad about my pumpkins.
Pumpkins
Add
cannot be
more
a
in the-
personality.
They can if I say so.
Actually, Charlotte, darling, if you could go downstairs, I believe the carriage should be pulling up soon. If you will please make sure that he is ready to turn around and head off as soon as we are able. And please make sure the shoes are lined up and ready for lacing as soon as we're down.
Yes, ma'am.
I should mention too. I don't know if I did. Theodosia's a half elf.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Irena makes sure that her youngest is in her
Oh,
clothing,
cool.
and is ushering them down to get their shoes on, whether they be boots, laced boots, or what. I am not actually good at Edwardian shoes.
They're
at the
slippers.
moment.
Yeah, slippers.
Sorry,
It would
slippers.
be
There it is.
Slippers.
And she gets you all lined up in front of the door, looks you over, takes off another pumpkin.
Mother, you don't understand. This is high fashion. I have been paying very close attention to everyone on the high street, and I can tell you right now the pumpkins are in the same way that lilies were in last season.
Darling, it's summer.
Mhm.
How are pumpkins in?
Well, we're about to go into fall.
Well,
You don't seem to understand, Mother.
Where did you
They
even
go with the
find
time.
these if they weren't at the market?
I made them myself.
you
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm very good at making things.
So,
Oh, man.
So Irena looks each one of you over. She does some last minute touches. She tucks Theodosia's curls back a little bit so they're not hiding her face.
they quickly
she
fall
adjusts-
back in her face.
Yeah. And she says, "Oh, that reminds me." Irena goes back to her room, back near the kitchen, and she brings out a box. And she opens it, and inside she takes something out. She takes for each one of you. She slides a really pretty scroll-like clip into Theodosia's hair to hold back some of her bangs, and it accents the
Aw.
hair really prettily. For Oofy, she does not provide a pumpkin. Instead, she provides like a little pop of like purple, like a little purple flower, just so there's something slightly different
cute.
between the green and purple. It's a brooch that sits on her like the side of her chest. And then for Charlotte, she has a really pretty silver ring that she slides onto one of her horns.
Thank you very
Ooh.
much.
Ooh,
Now
that's cool.
these are.
Thank you, Mother.
You're very welcome. You don't act like you wanted a pumpkin. Now you will
I
be
did,
going
but
there.
I'll take this. Thank you.
I cannot go. I was not invited. This is only for certain eligible people, as well as certain chaperones. That's all right. I'm not much of a partier anyway, but I do expect you to represent this household with pride. Do not embarrass me or yourselves.
Of course not. How could we even do so?
Ophi.
What?
She
I'm
looks
very
over
good
all the
In high
pumpkins.
society. I know the fashions. Don't even get on it. Whatever.
Charlotte just rolls her eyes.
She pauses for a second, and she says, "Now I want you to know I'm not mandating you come home with a partner or spouse. I'm only asking that you humor your old mother, who will not be around forever, by showing that you can at least consider the future, whether it be with someone or at least not alone. So, thank you. Now, I believe the carriage is pulling up." She dabs at her eyes. "So, off you go. I think we're already behind, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have to make sure that horse runs pretty quickly. Go, go, go!"
Is
Okay, toodaloo, mother.
is
I
Mama,
just waltz out.
is Mama not coming with us?
No,
dear.
I wasn't invited, darling. There will be, your Aunt Ursula will be there, though. This is her sister-in-law, who is probably the one that has a larger title, and you would know her as the town's largest gossip.
Hell yeah.
So Aunt Ursula has been trusted as one of the chaperones there, as well as a few of the other people that we know from the town and the city nearby, as well as people that Lady Hensworth considers friends. So I expect you to be on your best behavior, but at least have fun. I'm being told it's going to be quite the shindig. I'm not even sure if that's a word that's being used yet in this time frame, but it is in my world, so ha!
It's all right.
It is now.
There's a lot of things at this party that wouldn't be at an Edwardian party, but meh.
Perfect.
Oh,
don't
before
have
you
to
go, I almost forgot. The other thing. And Arena pulls out a purse for each one of you, and she hands you over a purse with 500 gold each.
Jesus.
Oh, I run back over because I'd gotten in the carriage already.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Sophie doesn't want hers. That's okay.
And then I go, no, I would like that, thank you. And then I just like grab it out of her hand and go, thank you, mother, I deserve this. And I walk back.
Early grave, early grave, early grave.
Others spend the evening drinking a nice hot cup of tea and relaxing by the fireside. I will do my best to do something with her.
I've
I know,
dropped
I'm probably.
I've dropped the pouch. Trying to find it.
Oh. Oh, darling, it's brown. It's brown on green. You can find it. There you go. Okay. Into the carriage, please. Into the carriage before I have an hand yours.
The
Please,
pockets
please,
I
please
would
go.
put it in have books in them, and so I'm trying to
Books
figure that out.
out. Give me 3 of the books. Give
I-
me 3 of the books right now, or give me the pouch back.
I don't even really have that many this time.
Theodosia, you do not need.
I scream out of the carriage.
5
Think of how
books.
many you can buy with that money. I think it's more.
She's like
Tempting her.
looking at 2 different ones and trying to decide which one's gonna go.
Sweetheart, we already know there's one in your corset. Get rid of everything that's not there.
In the corset?
Yes,
don't
I
know
know
what
it's
you
in there. And then
mean.
Charlotte taps on the side of the corset.
You hear the crinkling.
So take everything out of the pockets. We will give it to Mother. She will take very good care of them. Let's go.
She gives you like 5 books.
Now, come on. And she does that little shooing motion
Very well.
in the carriage.
And sits down.
Awesome.
So the 3 of you are loaded into the carriage, and it takes off after Arena gives a hefty tip to the coachman, and you are off down the lane heading towards the Henworth Manor, which is a lovely manor. You have only seen it in passing. This is not a circle of people that you normally meet with. And you are taken directly to this splendid party you've been told about.
Oh, exciting. I
You guys are already on the map,
That's awesome.
so it's not like I'm going to show anything different.
have things to give before we get out of the carriage.
Okay. You pull up on this grand manor, but you do see people are being directed to go around, go through and out to the back garden. But as you are pulled up, the coachman jumps down. He pulls open the door and is standing ready for you to leave.
Okay, before we walk out, I turn really quickly to everybody and I go, "Oh, ladies, I almost forgot. So I've been doing some work, just in my free time, in the middle of the night, and I made us a few things that might come in handy here, but I'm not sure. But I thought I'd bring them anyway because Mother wouldn't let me bring my pumpkin purse, so I just grabbed this bag of holding that I made the other day.
I
And
thought
all
there
of
was
these are
a
in here."
bird in the window. It was you?
Sure. So I turn and I look at everybody and I go, "Okay, so I have 4 items here in my purse." And Leah, you are welcome to tell me this is not allowed, but I picked these.
I
when
don't
was
have a lot of
making
rules for this one.
Okay, because I picked these specifically when making my level 10 character.
Yeah, I saw that you did an artificer. Yeah.
Okay, good. You saw. So I turn and I say, "So here are the items that I have, and if you would like them at any time, you just let me know, and I will hand them over. But I thought we could all share them, nice and sisterly, huh?" So first thing I have is this beautiful cloak of protection. Maybe this would be useful if we're trying to skittle-daddle, get out, I don't know. Or
After stealing the pumpkins.
Better, yeah, right. Yeah, what might be even better in that case, I have these slippers of spider climbing. I also have this hat of disguise, so if any of our suitors are being very annoying, I can just throw this on your head, and you can be someone else and make them go away. And I think that would be quite nice. And I have a brooch of shielding. So please let me know if you would like any of these at any time. I will have them in my bag of holding, which you're also welcome to use. Did you have any other books that you were hiding, Theo? I can put them in here if you'd like.
She quickly pulls out 3.
I put them in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be very
So,
gentle with the Byron. It's an original copy.
Oh, very exciting. I just throw it in.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to type these things out so that y'all know that we have them. If anybody ever needs to use them. I don't know if they'll actually be helpful. Because I have no idea what Leah is planning. But
Actually, it's not that big.
oh my. Okay, on that, shall we get out, huh?
The girls step down, the coachman helps each one of them step out. You do see other young people about your age, maybe a little bit older, maybe 1 or 2 years younger, dressed in their finery as well. Some are being escorted, some are alone. Each one of them are all holding dance cards. It's the kind that you have around your wrist, just like the ones you were given. And they are heading into the manor, which has its doors wide open. It's this lovely manor, English manor, of course, because Edwardian times. And as you walk through, you are actually guided back towards the what would be a meeting hall or a ballroom-like area, but that opens out to a beautiful patio terrace and then onto the garden grounds. You see that there is a good number of people here. You can definitely tell the difference between chaperones and eligibles. There are people of your age as well as older that might be parents or uncles or aunts that have been agreed to oversee the proceedings and make sure propriety is kept. You do see that there is food and drink. There is a bar set up for specialty drinks offered to the guests. There is foods of all kinds, as well as waiters walking around with interesting bites. There is also a dance floor in the center of the garden, the checkered area, as well as a band set up nearby. I don't have a band avatar, so I couldn't put it on there. But they are playing. There's also some other things, but without full exploration, it's hard to see what is all provided. It just kind of depends on if you want to go out and walk around. Nobody made tokens,
awesome.
so we could just walk. We can just throw your people out there.
Oh. How do I...
There you go.
I'm a dress.
You're dressed. That you are.
I forgot to change it to my face. Oops. Let me change it to my face.
Um,
I'm gonna try and do
Have we
that
found our
quickly.
aunt?
Yes, looking around, you do see a woman about your mother's age. She has perfectly coiffed blonde hair. She is human as well, but she is dressed very nicely. Her husband is a lord. He has quite a bit money, but he is usually on business trips. He's a merchant businessman, and she is currently set up at like a sitting area, like over here down left corner. Drinking and having the gay old time, either gossiping with other women her age, or if any youth
Amazing.
approaches, she talks with them. She seems to know a
I
good
run
portion
over
of the people
to her.
here and
I
rubs
just go,
elbows with them.
oh, Auntie! Auntie,
My little aunt nieces! Oh, it's good to see all of you! Oofy, are those pumpkins?
Yes, aren't they just fabulous?
Oh, you're always a step ahead of the trend. I'd say that's a perfect idea. Get ahead of the
Thank you.
season. Be ready for the harvest.
Yes, I know. Right.
Charlotte, you
Just
looking
joking.
regal as ever. Taking after your mother, I see. And where's the little one?
What? Just kind
Let
of
me
baried
go
behind her
gather her.
sisters.
Turns around. Give me the book.
I don't. Her hands are behind her back.
Give
I don't have one.
Theodosia.
It's a very small one.
I don't care. Give it. You can have it back on the ride home.
Hands another.
Oh, they'll-
very expectedly.
Oh, there'll be plenty of things to read here, if you know what I mean.
Ooh!
Tell me, ladies, have you taken a look at the dance card yet? Do you see anybody that sparks your interest? Oh, tiny.
Well, I don't know. I'm quite keen
There's
on someone that
certainly a
has a
few.
title because I deserve royalty. So that's kind of my thought. So really, any of them that have a title.
Well, you are aiming quite high. We won't have exactly royalty here. The king and prince are spoken for, I believe so. But you shall find some people of very nice title, if you know what I mean, as well as have their hands dipped in many pockets. She fans herself. But it will all depend on what you're looking for. I, of course, know
This is
all the
true.
juicy details.
Yes, so I suppose, Auntie, who do you think would be best suited for each of us? I'm sure you know them all very well.
Oh, darlings, it's been so long since I've spoken with one of you and fully fleshed out your personality. So I'm not entirely sure I can speak for you. There are many eligible
Awesome.
lords, ladies, and everything in between. So you'd have to tell me if you're aiming for one particular thing.
Money and status.
Oh, well, that's quite simple. If you're looking for money, you're probably going to have to be a little bit more specific. Are you looking for old money? Money that looks promising? Or, for lack of a better word, respectable money?
Old money.
Old money.
I would say for me, old money, because it usually comes with status, you see. I mainly want the status, but I want them to have enough money that they can provide for me so I can keep sewing. And maybe get into jewelry making. And I thought about maybe also making armor.
Well, I did notice
That's
that
kind of money.
I did notice that 2 of the names on there are from a very well-known dwarf family. They would have very good connections to jewels and materials.
Oh, you are speaking of the Druin siblings. Yes, both the Duke Amberin and Duchess Atara are here. They are quite different from each other, but they are connected to the Druin family. I will say their money is old, but I believe, prospects-wise, Amberin, the brother, his new ventures seem to be garnering much more attention than any of his old names. He seems to be very keen to be a part of something new, and I'm not one for business. My husband does all the business, but I'm being told that it is quite lucrative as of late. By the way, while you are talking to your aunt, if you know her, so you might want to be careful what you take as truth. So you might, if you want to, do perception checks to make sure what she's saying is true. She is the town gossip, so
Okay, let's do it. Perception checks. Let's do this
on
shit. I want my
what?
money. Instead,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is she really giving me the best people that she possibly could?
Well, currently,
Perception.
the dwarf was brought up, so. Oh yes. Yes, she is telling
I don't know
the
why
truth.
I'm on.
She is telling the truth about the Druin young lord. He is you get what she told you was that he has a new venture planned, and so far the rumors are that it's going to be lucrative. Not that he has the money quite yet, though his family has money. This new money and this profitable venture is in the future.
He's giving into NFTs. Auntie, what about the Baron? I'm quite interested in the Baron. I've heard he's quite attractive as well, but I don't know. Maybe that was a lie.
You see the aunt. She kind of chuckles. Well, I'm not entirely sure. I have actually not seen or met the Baron yet. These are only things in passing that I've heard. He seems to be doing well for not having very old money. But I'm sure he has other, traits that would be helpful to a young lady. Look, I have not met him. He doesn't have the best title, so I don't know if I would go towards him. I've heard he's quite a bore.
Good point.
Also, each one of these
Does
you'll
he
have
like
to give.
books?
You'd have to give a perception check, by the way, if you want to get to the brass tacks of some of these. Also, you have two other sisters.
My advantage off. Yeah, I was trying to see if he would be good for my sister who likes books. How do I turn off my advantage? I don't know why it's on.
Go to the gear.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go to roll queries. It's like right underneath the gear. And it's right now said always roll advantage. You want advantage toggle.
Yeah, I see it. How do advantage toggle? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Great, okay. Okay.
Did you ask about Sir Finry?
Nobody's asked about it yet.
No, I haven't yet.
This just
Go
the
ahead.
the
Come on,
name
Theo.
is very interesting. It's a very interesting looking name. It's just kind of a little curious.
Cute.
Oh yes,
Cute.
the young officer. She actually points with her fan towards a tall human male who's in an officer's uniform. He seems to be a little bit by himself, but he is nodding politely to people who address him. He's got like straw blonde hair, blue eyes. Simple looking. That's the nicest way I can put it. But he's standing straight, and he looks like he's an honorable person from what you can see. And your aunt giggles. Yes, the officer. He comes from a long line of officers. His father was one before poor man lost his life in the Afghan War, of course. But he seems to have done well for himself. He does not talk much about his duty, but he seems to be an honorable person.
When she pointed the fan at him,
Theo kind of blushed a little bit because, like, what if he realizes that we're talking about him right now? And, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh, it's much too loud in here. The music is at full swing. You're fine, darling. I've been talking about that harpy lady Never mind.
Oh my
She
God.
stops herself as she watches a certain lady and hides her like glare behind her fan. Anyway.
Amazing. Okay, so I rolled a perception check earlier. So what she said about the Baron, did that seem legitimate?
She seems to look down on the title of Baron. It's not very high up compared to the others that are in attendance. Granted, you guys don't have titles either. But you have a benefactor of some renown behind you, even though you don't know who it is. And so she's being kind of, but she obviously doesn't think much of this person.
Theo, do you want to do a perception check about the officer?
Sure.
Oh my God, Nikki.
Nat 20.
My heart.
Okay, you guys really need to cut it out.
Yeah.
Leah's like,
Wait,
fuck
I'll have
off
to
with
return it.
that.
I'll be shy.
Your aunt was telling the truth about a few things. He is an officer in the army, and when she says that he seems to be honorable and loves his duty, she seems to be talking as if she has not talked long to him. That she is kind of just making up what she knows about soldiers in general.
Okay. Can I do I kind of want to glance over at him again and see if there's like anything I can read about like his behavior towards the people he's around right now, just kind of like observing him. I don't know what that would be.
He seems to be standing off on his own a little bit. He's got a small plate of what looks like hors d'oeuvres. He's nodding politely to people who pass, giving a gentle smile. Without talking to him, he just looks like a nice guy in a uniform.
Okay. I don't think it'd be polite to go just over and talk to some person I haven't been introduced to. So Theo's
My dear, that's what the party is for.
Still stay like very close to the skirts of Charlotte.
Charlotte, you must get that child away from you for a little while. Your prospects are here too, you know.
Yes, and on that subject, actually, I was wondering if you could tell me anything about Lord Treestride.
Oh, we're speaking of old money now. Yes, Lord Reginald Treestride. He's quite the straight-laced man, as they say. From what I hear, though, is that he's in a hurry to marry. He is the last of his line. His parents are still alive and thriving, of course, but you know what they say about only children.
No, I don't actually. What do they say?
She looks over the middle child. Well, they're your last line, as they say, and, well, if they don't get married and pop out a few, then what's there left of your name? Your aunt has no kids, by the way.
Oh my God. No.
But I heard he's very my darling, I caution you, Oofy, against Lord Reginald, because I've heard he doesn't have very much leniency with partners.
Auntie, I'm Charlotte.
I know, I'm warning your middle child. The middle child.
The middle one.
I don't understand why leniency would have anything to do with anything. I think I'm quite a lovely person, and everyone likes me.
Oh, honey, yes, you are quite a lovely person. They, you notice that the aunt and Oofy kind of sound very similar at times. It's just that I don't think I could be in his company for very long without ending up in a bad way.
No.
And then
Well, what about... Okay.
Now, if we're just going to go down the roster, you could just go talk to some of these people. I'm not the only one here, you know.
Charlotte made a roll for him.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the
you're here.
elf? Yeah, sorry. Sometimes it doesn't sound for me.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Your aunt is heavily using rumor here when she's talking. You do not see the elf. She has not pointed him out. However, the way she speaks is that she's kind of using hyperbole a lot. She's like saying he's like sounds like a strict person who's like straight-laced, and that he doesn't have many women in his company because they're either scared off or they disappear. Like she mentioned something about a silly, like some rumors about him scaring women off.
So is it almost kind of like she's trying to dissuade?
She's not really dissuading anybody from anything. She's just giving you what she's heard / gathered information wise. It almost seems like she'd prefer you guys to go find the truth, because that means she can have more ammo.
Time to gossip.
Yes.
All right. Well,
she lives for the scandal.
I turned to my sister and I go, I think we might have a little friendly competition, Charlotte.
Charlotte just looks at her going, uh-huh. Anyway. And she just walks off. Because she's going to go, saunter around.
That's awesome. What a badass.
All right, Charlotte, where you head?
When
you get closer to things, I can tell you what you see.
I think I would go down to here because it kind of looks like a dance floor.
Yes. In the middle is a dance floor of a checkered tile. There's a band playing and a few people dancing. They seem to be a good portion of group dancing. Currently, you see a myriad of different people, but in there you do see let's see here, which one was it? Oh yeah, you see a beautifully dressed half-elf woman who seems to be having a lot of fun with a few different men as she twirls around. As well as a air genasi of questionable gender, who seems to be as well enjoying the company, but seems to be talking while also dancing, which his partners seem to be a little bit annoyed with, but they're giving them the benefit of the doubt. Do you join in?
I would very much like that.
Okay.
Adorable.
Do you want to dance towards a certain person, or are you just enjoying the dance and observing?
I kind of want to dance towards and see if I can get the attention of the air genasi.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check. All right, you guys need to re-roll everything now because I don't trust any of you.
She's
No, just kidding.
imposing bullshit disadvantage because this is bullshit.
I'm gonna up some of my rolls for later. All of you -3. Anyway,
That's fair.
One shot.
so you guys, the groups pull out into two lines, and you're facing each other. You join in and slip in between two girls, and as the lines come together again, you are suddenly in the arms of this large-built air genasi. I'm sorry, they are gender neutral. It's just hard for me because they present more masculine than feminine, but it's an air genasi who doesn't really have a gender. So they are tall, kind of stocky built. They have a pale blue skin, like air almost. White hair, beautiful blue eyes. They seem jovial and in good spirits. And as soon as they collect you into their arms, they grin and say, "Hello! I have not met one as fair as you. May I ask for your name?"
Of course. My name is Charlotte. It's a pleasure
cute.
to meet you.
Oh, it's good to meet you too. I am Sir Coralest Gel. This is the air genasi that you have on your list. He seems to be very proud. They seem to be very proud of themselves, and they seem to be dancing well. But pretty much as soon as you start dancing, he starts talking. Tell me, what brings you to the party tonight? Are you searching for something in particular?
Well, I'm just searching for a wonderful time and possibly, if the fates are in my favor, someone to consider as a life partner. What about you?
Oh, I'm here for perhaps the same thing, but also adventure. I'm never one to be stuck in one place, and I do find these parties the right place to find a new path, if not a new rival. And he eyes some of the other men in the line with him.
Quite the competitive style, I see.
Quite, it's in my nature. Me and my siblings, we all grew up pretty much fighting for whatever we needed, and I can't back down from a good debate or rowdy fisticuffs.
Well, I can certainly tell you that I have some family that would be quite the conversation for you.
Oh, do tell!
Well, I have one sister. Her name is Ophi, and she's quite the Spitfire. Always causing my mother trouble.
Oh, and
no.
interesting. And tell me, who is your mother?
You have her mom's name?
Irena Swift.
Arena. I don't know why I wanted to go Ariana.
My mother's name is Arena Swift.
Give me a perception check really quick.
There you go. There's a shit roll.
Merry Christmas.
He's
Oh
okay.
God, yeah.
You say this, and he says, "Oh, it's quite interesting. That is a name I believe I've heard, and I saw on the dance floor that there are 3 names with that surname. So I'm going to guess you too have siblings that you compete for attention with."
Yes, indeed I do. But I love them all dearly, so...
You don't find it rousing to get into arguments or fights with them?
Depending on the topic of argument, sometimes yes. Most of the times they just are a bit exhausting.
Yes, that's why I find myself wanting to head out onto the sea soon. I will have to travel, for I believe I've ruffled enough feathers here to cause some trouble for my own family.
Oh my. I hope it's not too much too much dangerous trouble.
Oh no, it's a side hobby of mine that I've gotten into that has gained some ill favor for my family. I have taken up brewing my own ale, and my father is not quite happy with it, especially because it competes with his own brother's ale-making ventures. But I find that the idea of making one just as angry as I am is very attractive.
Jesus. This guy needs therapy.
You continue to dance. Give me another dex check really quick.
Okay.
Oh. You do slip a bit on the tile, probably surprised by his a little bit way too competitive spirit. But he helps you and looks you over as, "Oh, do you need to take a rest? Is it difficult? I know it rained earlier this morning, and I believe the dance floor is still a little bit moist."
Yes, perhaps it might be better for my ankles that I not trip and hurt myself too early into the party.
No, we wouldn't want to have that. You must have food and drink before the night is out. Here, come, let me help you. And he escorts you over to some sitting areas. So, I'm going to pull you over here.
Okay.
But he does look back at the dance floor. My lady, would you mind if I continued the
Awesome.
dance? I find it quite spirited.
That is perfectly fine with me. I would not want to take you away from something that brings you so much adrenaline and thrill.
But of course, if you feel better, please join me when you are ready. And
I
he
know
slips
where
back
to find you.
he slips back to the dance floor.
Oh boy.
Okay, I've been watching this entire thing, so I immediately run over and I sit right next to her. And I go, "Oh, sister, how was that? Is it a love connection?"
It's something, that's for sure.
Theodosia is alone and panicking about it.
Sister ran out without her.
Yeah, it's the second one.
Theodosia, really quick, give me a perception check as you're standing at the top of the stairs.
Oh my god.
Very
Mm.
nervously. What's a sweat roll? Oh, hold on. Okay. Perception.
Perspiration. I need a perspiration roll,
check.
please.
Yeah, please. Okay. You said perception?
Yeah.
Or perspiration,
Oh my
depends on if you're
God.
lucky
20.
or not.
26.
Theodosia,
Wow.
as you are fiddling with your skirts and getting kind of more and more nervous by the second, you do glimpse that there is a young dwarf woman with her face in a book as well, who is hurriedly trying to get away from a very boisterous dwarf male who is talking with a few other people at the party. And she seems to be sneaking around the house here to this sitting area over here.
I am curious what book she's reading. But, okay. And then she kind of glances back to where Sir Finry was standing last. Is he still there?
Yes, he has not moved much. The soldier in him has him at attention even.
Mother.
Poor thing. Oh my god.
Existential crisis.
Yeah. I think she's going to try and like muster a little bit of strength and like stop messing with her dress for just a second, because she knows that if she keeps fiddling with it, it's going to get wrinkles, and that's going to make Mother very angry. And
Oh my god. Oh, cute.
and try to like take a couple steps towards Sir Finry. But like the moment he like acknowledges her coming towards him, she's going to like turn beet red and like quickly about faced and head towards the dwarf.
Okay, so you head around the building, and you see a young dwarf woman has taken up residence on the chase that is over here. And she has her head bowed. She's over a book. It's paperback. It looks crinkled around the edges, like she has probably also snuck it in. And she is so engulfed she does not see you coming. But she has dog-eared some of the corners nervously, and seems to be trying to ignore the loud noises of the party.
Can I see if I can make out the title from where I'm at?
Sure, give me a perception check.
23.
It's that Edwardian classic, A Room with a View.
Okay, breathe. We practice this
By
with
E.M.
Ophi?
Forster.
Yeah. I'm over here
Oh
like
my
trying to remember how to speak. We practiced with Ophi. Okay. How are you liking the book?
You see her visibly jump, not expecting somebody to talk to her.
I jump as well.
She looks up, her cheeks go bright red. She says, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to bring the book. My brother's going to be very mad. Oh no, could you please not tell anybody that I brought this here?"
I would never. I would never. No,
Oh.
I have quite a few squirreled away myself that, well, my sisters both keep seeming to take them from me, but never to fear. And she pulls out like 2 smaller copies. Yeah,
Oh my
always
God.
keep a spare. Figured
She's
out
like that person with the guns.
a really good
Oh my
system.
God.
You can take, if you get enough belts, you can strap them to your leg.
Oh my God.
And then,
As
and
you,
then all I had to do was cut a hole out of the pockets into the pockets of the dress so that I could just slip my arm down. And she pulls out another one. And look, it's very easy.
What the fuck?
Amazing. That's
You see
amazing.
her brighten considerably. As you look her over, you do notice that she is a dwarf that keeps her beard trimmed. So she does not have a beard, unlike many dwarfs. And she is fingering a book that looks quite overused, as if she might have bought it used, and or she's read it a lot. It doesn't seem like it's something a young duchess would have with her. It seems to have been either worn or it is old and not new and not, without use and that kind of thing. But she looks up and she giggles at the amount of books that you pull out, and she says, I don't seem to have as much space as you do. She kind of wiggles her short legs.
Oh.
But it seems that I will have a new project to work on, so I can hide more from my brother. He takes so many from me before I can even get my my corsets on in the morning.
Do you like?
This is the one that's easiest to sneak in and out.
She
I
pulls
think
out
I've read it 4 times.
a smaller. It's another hardbound book because they're the easiest to strap. But it's got
There's not
a green cover, and it's a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and I'm gonna hold it out to her. Well, if you're looking for something new to read and you run through that one, this is an amazing story about what it means to be alive and where responsibilities with man truly lies. And I think you might like it.
Oh, wonderful! Mother doesn't like to get me books that are about these kinds of subjects. I believe I've seen what's written about this one. I find it very commendable that it's a woman
Oh, woman,
author.
right? Yes.
Yes. I don't know why there's not more of our brethren writing books, or at least published. There's probably many who write, and of course they never publish what we ask them to publish. But thank you very, very much. I think I've read this one about 4 times, but to get something new is quite delightful.
Of course.
She really hesitantly takes the book and is super careful with it, as if she might break it.
You needn't
This is
worry.
so cute. This is too cute.
Here, let me write my name in the cover so that way, if you want
Oh my
another
God.
one, you'll be able to, I guess, inquire as to where I am. My aunt Ursula is hosting the party, so yeah, and she's gonna.
She's not hosting the party. She's just here.
Oh, she's just
Lady
here.
Lady Lady Hensworth is the host. You haven't seen her yet.
Well,
None of you have seen her yet.
My aunt Ursula is just attending the party, but she's always at these sorts of things and could always probably inquire about her. And gonna quickly jot Theodosia Swift into the cover, and then where our house address is.
But she looks at the name really quick. Hold on. She looks at the name really quick. Give me a perception check.
To pull it up. 27.
Holy shit.
So you see Atera look at the name, and she looks at the name, and she visibly tenses, and takes the book and looks down. It's not like you've scared her in any negative way. She actually looks almost ashamed. but then she quickly schools herself and she says, "Thank you very very much for the book. I am sure I will read it and get it back to you as soon as I can. I wouldn't want you to be without such a treasure."
There's
Um,
no need to rush. I have she like kind of like now I know it's a little and she quickly like lifts her skirt to show her ankle and you can kind of see 2 books strapped there as well.
God damn it.
I've got plenty
Oh my
to
God.
go with.
Your mother's gonna
Scandal.
pat you down next time.
Take your time.
She giggles again and she says, How long have you been hiding these? It seems you've gotten quite good at it. I've only had to hide it recently after my brother's kind of taken over the household."
My eldest, well, we our family, you know, our sisters are all, none of us are blood related, right? We're bound as a sort of found family, and mother took us all in, but she was very adamant about our education, and I have 2 older sisters, so as soon as they were able to read, I was interested in what that was. So just started reading from a very young age, and it's nice to always be able to escape the world we're in and nestle into a book.
Yes, I quite agree. And she kind of like glances down at the book as if she really wants to start reading it.
Oh.
But we're gonna jump over really quick to Ufi. What did you want to do, Ufi? Are you just talking with Charlotte?
Okay. I was talking
Okay.
with Charlotte. In my opinion, my guess is that Charlotte and I would have talked about the guy that she was dancing with, and I would have come to a very, very quick conclusion that he is not my type. Or they are not my type. Too competitive. Can't deal with it. So most likely I would say, well, thank you very much, my sister. I'm going to go see if I can find a suitable suitor. And then I'm going to get up. And I'll probably walk. I want to walk to an area where I see a lot of people. I don't know which
Everybody's
area that would be.
kind of concentrated dance floor and food right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk to a spot where I can kind of see both. So maybe like here. And then I want to do a perception check to see if I can find the person with the most expensive looking clothing. Because I'm completely superficial. This is...
God damn it.
Yes, boom.
A 20, baby. It's
Okay,
dirty.
okay. You all now need -5 to your rolls.
That's fair.
Hey.
Well,
I
you have to
rolled a
remember.
shite.
That's
so
true. Just because
you-
their clothing is expensive doesn't mean that they actually have money. But I don't know that because I'm superficial.
So as you're looking around, your eyes are then drawn back to the dance floor, and the one who is dressed the finest is the woman you saw on the dance floor. She's this beautifully dressed half-elf woman. She's in this beautiful kind of crimson purple dress that hugs her chest and her shoulders perfectly before draping downwards. There's like jewels woven into like a leaf pattern going downward. Her slippers even have jewels woven into it. She's got glittering earrings. Her hair is
Dope, dude.
what?
She sounds so cool. I want this
Yeah.
outfit.
She has long silk gloves going up to her elbows that also have like a crimson purple pattern of leaves at the edges. She's got this beautiful like teardrop necklace that's a crimson shade, and her hair, which is about like a white blonde, is all braided up and set with flowers. And she is dancing quite jovially, and she looks to be what would be considered the most opulent in your current sight.
Okay. Is she the tiefling? I'm trying to remember.
No, she
Or
is half
she
elf.
something else? What is she? Half elf. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm going to just kind of...
slightly pointed ears have like really pretty earrings tipped at the edge.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to kind of just saunter over there. I want to participate in the dance to the point that I'll be dancing with her.
Okay, give me a dex check.
Okay, let's see. It's not a saving throw. It's just a dex, right?
Yeah, just X.
I don't know the. Okay, cool. I'm just waiting for all of my
sorry.
rolls later on to be horrible.
Yeah, I know.
Like every single roll from this point on. Like I'm waiting for it to break.
So you manage to get on the dance floor and you kind of worm your way through. They're doing one that people can kind of be partnered off every couple of beats. Or every couple of stanzas, I guess, maybe. And you manage to be in the arms of this woman who, as soon as you are within reach, she brightens up even more because it's somebody new. And she says, "Hello! It's lovely to meet you.
Hello!
I have not seen you at one of these parties before. I've been to a few. May I ask your name, dear lady?"
Oh, yes, hello. My name is Elfie. It is so lovely to meet you. I love the drape of your gown. And the color. Oh, it's so perfect. You look fantastic. I'm
thank
overtaken
you.
with how good you look.
Thank you. My parents would never have let me wear this sort of thing. My name is
Really? Did you sneak
Countessa
it?
Ornetta Bloom. It's very lovely to meet you.
Oh, fantastic to meet you, Contessa. Oh, lovely. So, you say your parents would usually not let you wear this kind of thing. Did you sneak this into this party?
Oh, no, darling, they're dead.
Oh! Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, well, we were never really close, so unfortunately now that we can't really get rid of each other. But enough about that. They don't have a say in my household anymore. She kind of
Congratulations.
she quickly brushes over the subject. She says, "I make all the rules in my own house now, and though I do have those that give me counsel, and I sometimes listen to them, I find myself wanting to sneak out to these things every couple of weeks. And I love meeting new people.
That's
You
lovely.
said your name is Ufi. What's your last name, darling?
Swift, right?
Give me a perception check.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, Swift.
Okay. Did I get that right though?
Starting to
Okay.
wonder what
Yes,
kinda-
yes. It's
What
Swift.
kind of shit people know about us we don't.
Exactly. Oh god.
Perception. You see the Countess. Like she stops for a minute, but then she like grins. She says, "Oh, you're one of the sisters that were invited. It's lovely
Yes.
to meet you. There's been a small ruckus about your coming, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's excited to see you. Are those pumpkins?"
Really? Yes, they are. I made them myself. What do you
Oh,
think?
they're just darling. Oh, now I want some pumpkins of my own. I will have to get a dress made when I get home.
Oh my goodness. Well, hold on. And I reach into my bag and I grab a pumpkin applique and I just hand it to her and I said, I stitched this so that it will magically attach to anything you put it on. Yes, I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, that's lovely. And she takes it from you, and then she moves her hand over it. This is in the middle of the dance floor. Moves her hand over it, and it suddenly turns into a real pumpkin.
Ooh.
And then the real pumpkin explodes in glitter, and showers the two of you with glitter. And then what you gave her is in her hand again. She says, "I will definitely put this on my next dress. I think pumpkins will have to be the new thing. Even if it's not, I will tell people it is. I love seeing people walk around in things."
Walk around in just that. Just
Yeah.
walk around. I
It's off,
very
off
much
to the
adore
side, he
you.
sees the glitter explode.
Going, that will never come out.
I am just like loving it with this chick. Like I am so vibing right now. so I'm just like, I can already tell that I just adore you. You are fabulous, and I think we should become very, very fast. A little more than acquaintances, if you know what I mean.
Oh, of course, darling.
Cover my hand over my mouth, and I'm just like, doing that face, where it's like you're looking kind of up towards the sky, like back and forth, but you have your hand covered. That look.
Yes. Oh, of course,
Yes,
darling. We will
perfect.
definitely have to become closer. I do have to warn you, there are others here who have suggested the same thing, but none of them were wearing pumpkins, if you know what I mean.
Yes, so they were not worth any of your time.
Suddenly, the music draws to a close, and everybody seems to draw their attention to a woman walking out onto the center of the terrace. Um, this woman is finely dressed. She's older, older than most of the people who live here. She seems to be stern-faced, but not unkind. She has white hair. She's old. You can tell by looking at her, she's old money. You would know this just from people whispering it. This is Lady Hensworth. She looks out over the crowd. Everybody's very quiet. Everybody seems to be in kind of reverence, but she smiles gently and says, "Welcome all. I hope you all have had time to become acquainted with one another. I do so love seeing the next generation become familiar with one another and usher in a new era of adorable, bright new minds. Please, I implore you to enjoy the festivities, the food, the drink, and the company. And if you do feel so inclined to take whatever you need food-wise home or, a person, if you find yourself in love or in infatuation, I do so love seeing all of you this way. But please know that by the end of the night, if you do choose to be with a certain someone, there will be a table or a private place to view the stars as they come out. So by the end of the night, please pick a certain someone if you wish to enjoy the view with. Also, before I leave and retire, for I am old, everything here festivity-wise and current staff has also been informed. There is the ability to win favors. There is a coin within my festivities that is called the Henworth Penny. If you would like to win one while you are here, please well, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I can't speak off the cuff right now. Be fastidious and check out the different festivities we have available to you where you can win these coins. At the end of the night, the person with the most coins will win quite the prize. And it's much more than the prize of your dowry, if you know what I mean. The Countess giggles next to you as well. There is also an auction, and know that all the money from the auction shall be going to the poor orphans of the Goldsmith Mines. Whatever's left at the end of the week. And enjoy yourselves. Thank you! And she flits off.
Okay,
And then
while she was doing that whole thing, we paused our dance, and I very slyly and coyly ended up just standing there holding her hand. Smooth.
Give me a persuasion check.
It was
Oh,
not
shit.
smooth.
This will not go well.
Oh, it was smooth.
Boom! It was smooth. It was smooth. When is this going to end? It's gonna. I'm going to go
You guys
down
are gonna
in
crash and
fire
burn at some point.
Yeah.
When is this
Penny going to drop?
Hold on, Oofy.
Don't know when. I don't know where. But something terrible is going to happen.
Exactly.
She glances over while the old woman is talking, and she winks at you. And then she kind of glances towards some of the shadowy areas where some of the bushes provide cover. She has little to no shame. And but
Amazing.
before you guys can go anywhere, the staff steps out, and each of you are presented these little silver coins that have Lady Hensworth face on them, and you are told that these are Hensworth pennies, and these are what you are collecting for the night. But you also get the feeling that there might be
Awesome.
options to bet with them. But you are also informed that the auction is with actual money, not with the pennies. But
Well, we got 500 gold, so that's cool. Thank you very much.
yes, so you do have, like she said, there's different entertainments that you can either just enjoy or possibly compete or, figure out, and you could get more of these pennies. Coins, whatever.
Awesome. That's cool.
Thankfully, I know these pennies are just for the party, because otherwise this would be seen as treason.
Kylie, I just picture your character saying that out loud to no one. Just
Pretty much.
everything about it is perfect. Oh, maybe someone heard you when you said that. It's being hopeful.
So we're back to the dance floor. The Countess looks around as she looks ready to pull you off the dance floor when she's suddenly swept into another dance with a few other people. Oh, darling. I see you see that there are two people around her that kind of give you a glare. You don't know who these people are. I know who these people are, but you are not alone at this party, and they glare as they kind of take her, on either side kind of thing, and they start another dance, which you can...
Don't worry, darling. I'll find you later.
Oh, yes,
I'm
darling.
letting this happen.
Yes, find me by the wisteria later.
Oh, I will. Glare. I'm just glaring at them. Every time she's not facing me, I'm glaring at them.
Okay, so we're gonna jump back to Theodosia, which I'm guessing she's just reading with her friend who's very quietly reading next to her.
I know that I'm assuming that she said she wanted to start reading the book, and I don't want to disturb her or anything, so I've kind of left her to read a little bit and have kind of just am looking on the outside, very much clinging to the wall and being a little nervous about this whole party.
I'm gonna say while you're passing by it, though, you do see that while you passed by it on your left was a gazebo with a little stage set up, and there is a small banner next to it that says the Truth or Dare stage. And there's some people. There are some people who are milling about it. Nobody stepped onto it quite yet. You see Atera's brother is elbowing a man next to him, pointing up at the stage, trying to urge him to get on it. This is the dwarf male that you guys have on your dance card. But that's what you see when you passed it. So just letting you know that that's there.
Nobody's gotten on it yet.
Nobody's gotten on it yet. Nope. Give it a little bit. All of this has kind of just now been opened up for use besides the dance floor. So nobody's quite taken the leap yet, though somebody might pretty soon here.
I am a little curious about it.
And it does say in the banner is Henworth pennies available for winning.
Oh. Well then I kind of go in to the gazebo, and I guess if there's a line, I'll stand in that line for this. There's not. It's just
nobody's stepped up yet. There's not really a line. It's just kind of whoever jumps on next.
I'm gonna take a deep breath and put one foot up and start to stumble a little bit, but make it onto the platform.
I am so proud of your character right now. You have no idea. I feel like this is a big step.
Very proud,
figuratively
but
and
as a
literally.
big sister, I'm terrified.
Very curious to see.
So you step up and nothing quite happens. And then one of the young men chuckles. You're supposed to tell it truth or dare.
Oh, truth or dare?
No, you're supposed to pick.
Oh, I have to pick.
Oh.
I thought it would tell me which one I was going to do. Truth.
All right, I need you to give me a charisma saving throw.
15.
You are now affected by the zone of truth. So this gazebo
Oh,
enforces
shit.
onto you the zone of truth. And you need to. It kind of like seems to like not scan you, but it seems kind of like that's how the gazebo works. And it says you must tell it a secret pertaining to your favorite hobby.
I've taped in pages of or blank parchment to the pages of a book that I keep with me at all times because I secretly write my own poetry in it, but pretend that I'm just reading someone else's.
You see some of the other people gather around murmuring. Nobody seems to be laughing at you or anything. They just find it interesting. It kind of seems like the gazebo doesn't really have any malicious intent. It's just kind of supposed to get people to do things or say things. And you see the dwarf kind of rolls his eyes. This is Atera's brother. But you do see that the halfling, the Baron that you know from your dance card, walked by, and he glanced up and seemed to smile a little bit at your truth, but then kept walking onward.
Well, that was exhilarating. Oh my! That's just
So cute.
never.
Oh my
You're
god.
you're helped down, and some of the
Yeah,
men
I'm
look
very breathy.
concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the. Do you need a fainting couch? I mean, I can call the staff. Let me have the staff get you a drink of water.
She's like beet red, and any attention brought her way. A glass of water would be quite lovely.
They have some staff. A staff member comes around with a glass of water as you're sat down. You see a man next jump up and yell "dare," and he is dared to try and do a handstand. He's an athletic person, so he does it. You know, those kind of things.
I take out like a
Nice.
small little fan, and I begin fanning myself just slightly.
All right, we're gonna jump over to Charlotte. Charlotte, what are you up to? No, the activities are open, so they're starting to disperse outward a little bit.
I can't hear Kylie.
Sorry, I muted.
But I'm sure
Sorry.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's over
Perfect.
here?
Are you gonna walk over there?
I'm kind of intrigued, so I'm gonna walk over there and see.
Okay. You walk over there and you see a hedge maze. There's a few people that are talking with one another on whether they want to go in. There is a promise of a prize if you get to the center. But there's just like there's pokes and prods of like, no, you go in, no, you go in. But yeah.
I'm intrigued, so I'm gonna go in.
Okay. So you are going in alone. So give me 1 second. Okay, so this is a hedge maze. It's you cannot see over the top. However, they're just normal hedges. So how's it's going to work? You have 9 chances to pick left or right, and you're going to give intuition, wisdom, rolls, and
This is
you have to
awesome.
beat a certain threshold. You can miss 3 times.
So, quick question:
Mm-hmm.
if I have,
And you can use your skills to help too.
yeah, so if I have
This
an
is D&D.
ability that allows me to see through objects,
Well, you could see through to another hedge. It depends on how
God
far you
damn it,
get,
that's
on
me.
how far you can. I'd let you have a certain number
okay,
because you can't see through the entire maze.
right,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it would help me figure out if like one way is
Yeah.
like a dead end.
Yeah, give me roll a d4.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you get 3 choices past. So you go in with your your eyes glowing all weird. You take a left, a right, and a right, and then you come to another fork, and you need to choose a direction. So you need to give me a wisdom roll.
So I've done a left, a right, and a left.
No, a left, a right, and a right.
Or left, a right, and a right. I will go right.
Oh,
And it's wisdom?
you're not gonna wisdom save. You're just gonna.
Oh, wisdom save?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I thought I had to guess and then take the roll.
Yep. You take. Well, sorry. You get the feeling that left is the right way.
Okay, so then I'll go left.
Okay. And you slide your hand along the greenery. It's very pretty rose hedges. And you come to another fork.
I find myself almost distracted half the time looking at all the pretty flowers. It's like, ooh.
This is adorable.
And
So
then
cute.
You don't know which direction to go.
okay.
You're gonna have to make a guess.
I will guess right.
You are correct.
Okay.
So you take a right. You continue onward, and you
Keep
get
track
to
of how many turns I have left.
you get
I've already lost count.
you get to another fork, and you start to hear water running somewhere in the middle of the maze, maybe. And you have another choice. You get the feeling that left is the right direction.
I'm gonna go left.
All right. Continue onward.
Cool.
You get to one more. Or another one. You do not know which direction.
Another.
Okay. And so I just went left. Before that, I went right. I'm gonna guess left again.
You try and go left, and you end up at a dead end.
Damn.
So you go back, and you take the other direction. And
So
you
that
come...
was one miss.
Yep. And you find yourself at the next diverging path.
Man.
This would make a good poem.
Ah,
You don't know which way to go.
Right?
So you're going to have to guess.
You got this.
going
Believe
to
in you,
guess
Kylie.
Left.
Oh, can I? It's pretty far, but could I give her bardic inspiration? Like maybe she heard.
Not from where you are.
Damn.
No. This
Maybe
is a
she
large
heard my
hedge.
truth a while ago. I tried.
She was on the other side of the building.
Very sweet.
Shit.
I was gonna say, if you had taken those slippers of spider climbing, you could have just climbed the hedge.
I don't think they'd allow
They're a hedge, not a wall.
Probably not.
it.
That is a good point.
So you said left, Kylie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go left. All seems peachy. You head on, and you come to another fork.
Ugh.
You don't know which way to go.
I'm going to guess right.
You go right. You end up at a dead end. Very pretty flowers, though.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You turn around.
Ah.
You take the other direction, and lucky you, that was your last chance. So you end up at the center, which has a beautiful
Oh my
gurgling fountain.
Gurgling.
Gurgling fountain. And as you approach,
Gurgling fountain.
and as you approach, from the fountain is tossed 5 of the pennies, the Henworth coins.
That's awesome. Good job.
Oh.
You didn't see anybody on your way there. You could stick around, or you could head back. Could end up one way or another. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Give.
hang out for a bit.
I can't hear Kylie. Now I can hear Kylie.
Sorry,
Okay, there.
I keep muting because I'm worried that there's an echo since she's in the same room as me.
I can't
I
hear
think you're
it.
low
Oh.
enough now. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
I don't hear
I
it.
wasn't
Yeah, I
sure.
don't hear it.
Yeah, you're low enough, Kylie, that you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will stay unmuted.
Yay!
But yeah, I'll stick around, maybe sit near the fountain and just enjoy.
Okay, then give me just roll a d20. Just a
Five.
pure luck check. Okay. So you are sitting down enjoying the fountain. It's kind of quiet here, so this is kind of the perfect time to catch your breath a little bit. And then as you're sitting there, walking out of the maze, probably a little more annoyed than proud of himself, is a tall elf with long chestnut hair. He's got pointed ears. This is Lord Reginald Treestride. He's dressed in
Shit.
he's dressed
Oh shit!
he's dressed in finery of his status. From what little you got from your aunt, he has old money, but not a lot is known about him. The rumor she knew about was like he's strict and ladies don't stick around him for very long, and he's maybe not a nice person. You don't know, you've never met him. But he, as soon as he sees you, he straightens as if addressing somebody of like a higher title almost, and he gives a proprietary bow. Oh, good afternoon, my lady. I did not mean to disturb you. I'll leave and leave you to your peace. And
You don't have to.
he turns and he looks at you for a moment as if trying to gauge whether you're telling the truth or not. But then the fountain chooses that point to toss 5 coins at him, and he smacks him in the face. And he grumbles, looks a little bit put out, but he gathers the coins and shoves them into his pocket. And he sits like on the other side of the fountain and tries to look prim and proper again. Very embarrassed. Really hates being in that kind of situation. But he clears his throat after a moment and says, "I am Lord Reginald Treestride. It's nice to meet you. May I know your name?"
It's a delight to meet you as well, Lord Reginald. I am Charlotte Swift.
Yes. That's a name we have been told about. You were the newcomer to this kind of gathering, you and your sisters. I'm glad you could join us. I hope you are enjoying yourself. He kind of is like a little bit stilted, like he's choosing his words carefully.
It seems like there are quite a few people who know about us. It's a bit odd, I will admit. Could you perhaps enlighten me a little bit?
He looks actually surprised for a minute. His eyes narrow again as if he's trying to like carefully consider your words. You kind of get the feeling he really doesn't like being lied to. Not that you are lying to him. He's just it seems to be careful of it. And then he glances towards the exit of the center of the maze, and then back to you. Well, I don't know if you have been told. Your benefactor has introduced you to this circle of people, promising quite the dowry for your hand. Though that would sway some, it is impressive, but it is not the most outlandish that this county has ever seen. Not to insult my lady, and he's trying to like pick himself. He's not trying to insult you. He's so basically you get the point of the person who your benefactor has offered quite a bit of money and or something else. Kind of hard to tell, but it's not like a king's ransom, but it is something significant compared to you three not having titles and you not coming from noble stock. So you're more of a freak show is not the word I'm looking for, but
oddity.
you're more of a what?
An oddity.
Yeah, you're more of an oddity,
God damn it.
as well as like something that interests people because they want to know why this benefactor did what they did to practically 3 strangers. So that's kind of what you got out of what his explanation. He's trying not to be rude about it.
Do not fret. I do not find you being rude or anything. I find it just slightly disconcerting now that some people will be interested in us for more of a purse than a person.
He kind of sighs, and he says, "You would not be alone in that sort of thinking." Would you care to exit the maze with me? It's quiet here, but I believe both of us will be missed soon, and I would hate for people to traipse through these lovely gardens.
I would like that.
Oh my
very
god, the
much, but
tension!
perhaps we could
Woo!
take our time so that I could admire the flowers a little bit more. I
Of-
have a garden at home and I love flowers.
Oh, of course. And he stands and he offers his arm as a gentleman would.
Oh my god!
She walks over and takes his arm, but then looks back at the fountain. But let's hurry out of this space. That fountain kind of spits at you a bit violently.
He glances at his like wet bangs and he goes, "I'm aware." And he walks out with you at a leisurely pace. You do pass 1 or 2 other party goers, and who do glance at you in arm, but then they hurry forward on their own pursuit. And he steps out of the maze with you, but not before grabbing one of the flowers and offering it to you, going, "Thank you for your company through the maze. It would have been it would have been dull without company."
Thank you very much. It's
I ship this.
very kind of you, and I agree it would have been quite dull without someone to share it with. And if you ever do want, you can always find me throughout the rest of the party.
He nods, and as he opens his mouth to respond, however, you hear a ruckus coming not far from you. Across the way, across from the hedge maze, is this area over here that seems to have a strange glow to it. And there seems to be quite a few people gathered around, kind of like a magic circle in between. You can't quite see what's going on from there, but there is some kind of commotion, possibly another one of those activity areas. He raises a brow, not sure what's going on.
That seems interesting. Does it not?
Quite. It would be rude of me not to mingle with other people, but
That is very true. Mingling is what a party is for.
I believe, but I would not mind having an ally while I traverse the battlefield. He offers his arm again.
I think I can do that.
He takes up your arm, and you walk over to this area over here. So it seems to be that there's like a magic circle set up, and in the center, you see 2 people standing on either side of this magic circle, and in front of them are smaller versions of themselves, kind of like avatars, and and on either side of this partition, they seem to be fighting monsters of the same size as them, as if they've
Oh
been
my God.
miniaturized to have little battles, little fights. And this
They're having
circle,
Pokemon battles.
this circle summons
of themselves.
summons smaller beasts, summons beasts, kind of artificial creations to fight small avatars of the people. So it's so the noble crowd don't have to get their own hands dirty. They just have magical avatars that do it for them. But before we
This
go
is
to that,
amazing, Leah. Oh my god.
if we go
Oh
to
my
that, we're gonna
God.
jump back over to Ophi and check in. What would you like to do, my dear?
Well, the person I was the most interested in has been spirited away by assholes.
I mean, you can try and get her back. There's
them down.
No. I have to play at least slightly coy. You know, you don't want to look desperate. I may be
Wisteria,
kind of
Wisteria.
yes.
Don't look
Wisteria.
desperate. Writing it down.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to wander over towards the food. And just see if there's another well-dressed person over by the food. That's all I care about.
No one's wearing Louis Vuitton or Hermes.
God damn it. Ugh. No Birkin bags? What the fuck? Okay, let's see. Perception, I'm assuming. Oh. Oof.
E.
Oof.
Look with your special eyes. My bad.
You walk over towards the food. You do see that there are entrees and little victuals to eat. Oh, now I'm hungry. Anyway, but you also see that there is a specialty table set up for desserts. And they've got cakes and little pies and that kind of thing. But there seems to be some very, very tempting looking cupcakes that are each different colors, shapes, and sizes. And people are milling about and looking over them, curious. They seem to also each have their own name. It seems to be the only place that has something special going on with the food. Otherwise, you don't see anybody
let's look at cupcakes
over here. Oh, you want to look at the cupcakes? Okay.
Fuck yeah.
So,
are they pumpkin ones?
hold on, let me grab my chart. This is being recorded, so I have to say it, I believe, because I want to give the person who made this credit. So I found this magic chart done by Lady Tiefling on Twitter. So you have before you 6 cupcakes. You have a chocolate cupcake with chocolate frosting and a little candy crown called the King Cocoa. You see a cupcake has frosting designed to look like a little mythical creature, and there's different ones there. This is called a mythic cupcake. There's the Fool Me Twice cupcake. It's a small cupcake that is enough for 2 bites. It is frosted to look like a brain. And there's one called the Last Wish, and this cupcake is shaped to resemble a tombstone. The frosting is a dull gray color. Then there's one that's labeled Delicious Blueberry, a blueberry cupcake that is bright, yummy, and always the perfect temperature. And then there's the Chroma cupcake. A colorful cupcake has a secret gooey center that is randomly colored chromatically.
Oh my god, that is fantastic. Good job.
And there is a little sign that says 1 cupcake per guest.
Like one of each flavor?
No, one. You have to choose one of these.
Okay,
no,
so
cupcake
I think
only.
It's worth a shot.
so
Like you said, Mother.
even
I'm
though
just
in
here
the
for
real
the
world,
food.
good, exactly. Even though in the
There
real
is
world, I
there is
believe
a
that
staff
chromatic
member
is
there who
starting
looks
to fade out.
very, very mean, and you're only allowed to have one.
I'm only going to take one. Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding.
So I think so even though in the real world chromatic stuff is starting to kind of not be as popular, which is dumb because I like that shit. I think in this world, Ophi would see that as very futuristic and very fascinating. And as being the person who really likes being of the trend of the time or even future trends, that's definitely the one I would pick. Yeah, she considers herself a trendsetter, so she's going with the chromatic one.
Okay. So you pick up one of these chromatic cupcakes. You bite into it, and I need you to roll me a d10.
Oh god. Okay. 4. I die instantly.
4. No. In the center is a kiwi flavored gel. And this is... Let's see here. The green dragons are highly territorial, deceptive, and forest-dwelling creatures who loved secrets and intrigue. Although lawful evil, they were duplicitous and cutting foes who loved combat. They were the third most powerful of the chromatic dragons. Their breath weapon has a cone of poisonous green gas. Is what's on the skirt of the cupcake. So you now have... it's technically 1 minute, but I'm actually going to extend it to the party. You have the ability to use poison breath at least once.
I was gonna say your farts
Holy
are terrible.
Oh my god.
Silent
my God.
However,
deadly.
you're at a party, so
It's
you might
not-
want to be
it's
careful if
not
you ever
gonna-
use that.
I was gonna say it doesn't just happen, right? I choose
No,
it,
no.
right?
You feel
Okay.
like you have the ability to control it. You can use the poison breath once.
Okay, thank God. Okay. Fuck yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. So if I really hate a suitor, I can just kill them. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty dope. So that cupcake was delicious. Let's see. What can I do now? If I'm not really seeing suitors, do I see?
You do
Hold on.
turn around and you do notice a now that you've gotten a cupcake, you notice a young tiefling woman. She is lively and boisterous and happily drinking not far. She seems to have just ingested one of the cupcakes and is giggling about her fate. I'm not gonna tell you what happened because I'm not gonna give it away.
God.
But she seems
Oh,
to have
God.
finished a cupcake heartily and is drinking deeply. This is Lady Emmeline Baker,
Cool.
and one of the people who is on your dance card.
Okay. I guess I'll go up to her and I'll be like, "Oh, I see you partook in the cupcakes as well, huh? Did you get something fabulous?"
Oh, of course, darling. Everything I get is fabulous. I'm having the time of my life.
Me too.
She-
Fantastic! I love to hear it.
Though her dress isn't as beautiful or ornate as the Countess, she is dressed in the latest fashion. So she has everything in place perfectly. It's the right color for the season. It has all the right cuts and prints, and is in all. I don't know
Awesome.
Edwardian fashion very well, but just know that she knows what fashion is. So she doesn't have as much as a flamboyant attire as the Countess, but she knows what's on point at the moment. And she looks over your dress for a moment, and she says, "Pumpkins, brave, but I
Yes.
like it."
Thank you. I know I'm trying to channel the next season within this season. Start the trend early.
Oh, I
will.
completely understand that. She's taking another drink.
I see that you are very much on trend. Look at those. Look, I love the lacing and I love the pleating. It's beautiful. You look fabulous.
Of course, I get all the early portraits of all the nobles, and I make sure I'm ahead of the game.
Woo! Oh, fantastic. We love a good fashion plate, huh?
Was photography
I'm
introduced
sorry.
yet? I cannot remember.
No, fashion plates is what was popular at
Oh,
this
yeah, that's
time.
what it was.
So
Okay.
they would literally draw it
Yeah.
and then send it on plates. Or
I
dolls.
may hand some money over to people who make the plates just so I get a peek early.
Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. That's very clever. I love this. I like your minds. You are
Thank you.
quite smart. Oh, fantastic. Yes, so darling, where do you come abouts from?
Oh,
I know I'm new with this, you see.
Oh, you're new? Oh, you must be one of the new girls. Well, you're gonna love it here. It's so much fun. My name's Emmeline Baker. She's a
Lovely.
tiefling, so she's got horns as well, and she's got like multiple rings on her horns. And they kind of like jingle a little bit when she moves. She's got like charms. She's got like the Pandora version of horn rings.
Dude, that's so cool. I love
But
that.
she's not double fisting, but she's got a few cups near her hand. And she says, "Now this is the place you gotta be. Even if you're not looking for a suitor, just come for a good time. Oh my gosh, the drinks, they just never end.
Mhm.
I could be like, hey, waiter, can I have
Whoa.
another one? And he's just over here in a minute. I love it."
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
sure enough,
should we try? Let's try.
Oh, try it. It's so much fun. You
Winter,
call over
Scooty.
a waiter who's like obviously hovered by Lady Baker here, and he kind of looks like, oh goodness, and he offers basically just a glass of wine, and he does
Ooh.
tell you if you want specialty drinks, you're going to have to go to the bar. As I've explained, I don't need any specialty drinks. I just like to drink.
Oh my
And
God.
she
Oh,
starts
well.
to drink a new glass.
Oh, well, look at that. You were spot on. That was fabulous. Okay, cheers. Come on. bubbles
Cheers!
up,
Oh
as
my
they
gosh,
say.
cheers! She pulls it
Clink.
away from her mouth to
Clink.
cheer because she completely forgot.
God. Jesus. Clink.
So clink.
And then I basically mirror her completely, and I just do exactly what she's doing with that drink, which probably is a bad idea for a human, but whatever.
Give me a Constitution save.
Oh, I'm fucked. My constitution is so low, guys. Just like my starting constitution was 4.
Oh my
Let's see.
god!
I think it's a 9 now. Let's see. No, it's a 7.
Oh my
Perfect.
god!
Okay, constitution save. Let's see how
And you
this goes.
didn't like buff that at all?
Nope.
How are you alive? Like what happened?
You are
So-
a lucky ass motherfucker.
So thankfully this is a light wine, so you're good for now. Keep in mind you guys do have a drunk meter that I am keeping track of. For this is a
Amazing. Oh,
party.
God.
Ufi is the first one to drink, so she's the first one to address it. But Ufi, you seem to be fine right now. This is your first drink of the evening, so you're just fine. This is not the first drink of her evening.
Nope.
And she says, "Oh my gosh, I think I just might sit here unless a really attractive person, makes it worth my while to leave the bar area.
Hmm.
I think I just might be here all night. I usually am. My parents don't let me get into the drinking much at home. I usually have to sneak out and drink. And oh my gosh, did you know there's a racetrack here? We should totally bet some of the coins we got.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. That's great.
Oh my
Let's
gosh,
go.
you have to see this place. She
fantastic.
pulls you away from the bar, suddenly forgetting that she said she wasn't going to leave the bar. She's kind of like that.
I was
And she
gonna say,
pulls you over.
I tried to
What?
do perception to see if she was trying to be flirty or not, because otherwise that's actually quite an insult. And my perception was horrible. So that drink must have hit me at least partially.
She seems to be open to a lot of things. That's what you get out of it. She's
Hmm.
she's like one of
I
those
can't tell if
girls.
she thinks I'm attractive. There's no way to tell. That's okay. I'm still going to the race.
She doesn't find you ugly.
Okay, that's
So she pulls you over to the fence of what seems to be this large racetrack. However, it doesn't look big enough for horses. And you see that people are also lining up and getting the certain creature ready for a race. And
Oh,
you
God.
see a certain fox-eared, short-legged dog come out of pens and get lined up for races.
Corgi racing!
What? What?
You
What is
see
Kylie
a
saying?
small
What did
pack
she
of...
Racing!
Corgi.
Corgi racing is there for us!
Oh my god. Is Sir Fluffy Butt the 5th or whatever? his
Oh
name
my
is?
goodness.
On the fence, you
He's my
see
favorite.
you see a banner that says the names of the racers, and
I'm so
you
excited as shit.
have Sir Fluffington, Lady Woofledown,
Motherfucker. Cute.
Lord Loaf, Duke Digson, and Princess Poffarella.
Okay, I can't handle those names, Leah. You can't do this to me. Okay. I'm going to put my bet on. Okay, Nikki's
Hold on.
bet.
We're gonna break really quick.
Okay, perfect. Oh my god.
Look like
Oh
it's
my god.
Would you like me to
so
paste
happy
the
that Kylie
names?
got that.
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes,
Hold on.
please. Because the names are perfect. I know exactly which one I'm picking.
Lord Fluffington? Or Sir Fluffington?
Oh my god. How many coins do I have? I haven't won any extra, but I can't remember how
Right,
much I
you
started.
have. I hope you guys keep track of your coins. You were given 5. However, it
5.
seems like people are open to betting real money or the pennies. It's kind of up to what you would like to do. There is a young servant lady there ready with both options of either the gold or the pennies. Just you are only able to bet certain ones. She does off. I kind of want to wait till Nikki gets back to explain it. So
So we
Oh,
were
yeah,
given
that's a good
5
idea.
each? I thought we were just given 1.
no, of the pennies you were given 5 each.
Okay, so now I've got 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Now I want to just look up
Hmm.
corgi racing.
I'm trying to figure out. Fuck yeah. Remember that time that we just sat there and watched corgis for like
Yes.
2
Yes,
Yes,
hours
I do.
and Leah was like, what
unfortunately.
the fuck is wrong
And
with you
that's
people?
100% why she put this in here. To
Uh-huh.
please
love it.
us.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, right,
God damn it, dude.
Oh yeah, and I have to look up how. Okay, there we go.
YouTube. Corgi racing.
There's so many. Like,
Oh, yes, 'cause it's
where
Canterbury Park.
is the track? Yeah, where's the track that has all the videos, like the really popular videos? Isn't it in like Tennessee or something? Or Florida?
Looks like Canterbury Park, and Canterbury Park is in. Well, it's not telling me, so.
I'm hungry.
Canterbury.
I just ate some
Park.
chicken. And then the cat tried to eat the chicken.
Yeah, we ate our pizza
Go away.
from last night for lunch. So,
Canterbury Park is in
okay, Nikki's back.
Shakopee, Minnesota.
I've never
Oh,
been.
Leah, we
We're
have a
adding
reason
to
go
our
Minnesota.
list. Well, we wanted to go to Minnesota for a while because we want to go to the Renaissance Fair and the State Fair.
Yes.
All right.
And now also corgi racing.
And now corgi racing.
Unfortunately, now corgi racing. Okay, so there is a servant there that is can take your money. However, she does tell you beforehand. She goes, if you'd like, you can meet the racers beforehand and give them a little pep talk if you want. You see some of the others eyeing each other up a little bit. Before the small little pack is ushered over to say hi. So if you would like to meet your
Oh my
racer
God.
and or do something to your racer, you have the chance.
Okay, fuck yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Oh my god.
I'm seeing what I can do.
Canterbury Park
Let's
does
see.
multiple different dog races. Bulldogs, bassets,
God damn
corgis, and wiener dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's fantastic. Okay, hold on. I'm still looking. I'm sorry.
You're
Let's
fine.
see. Did I do anything? What the fuck? I don't know. I didn't know if I had this. Okay, yeah, let's not waste my spells on a corgi race. Should I waste my spells on a corgi race?
Fuck yes.
What do you think? Yeah?
I want
Okay,
that on a
fuck yeah.
t-shirt.
How many spell slots you got, babe?
Should
Yeah.
I waste my spells on a corgi race? I think that should
Fuck yes.
define this
Well, no,
session.
on the front it says. On the front it'll say, "Should I waste my spells on a corgi race?" And on the back it says, "Fuck yeah."
That's awesome. Okay. Let me just make sure
What else are we doing with them?
that I want this one. Well, hopefully not actually fighting anything at some point.
I'll deal with
okay.
that as the times comes.
That is true. Okay, so I'm going to go up to this. Okay, because I could be like, oh, I'm an artificer. I'm gonna make a thing. I'm not gonna do that because I don't feel like it. I'm gonna use a spell.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go up to Lady Wolfledown because oh my god, that name. I'm going to go to Lady Wolfledown.
She's this cute. She's this cute little burnt corgi Oh, it's got the
Oh.
black on the back and little white
Yes.
paws, and she's doing the
Oh my god.
little tip taps back and forth, looking happy.
God damn it. Oh my god. Okay, can you hear me eating this carrot? I'm sorry if you can hear it.
No.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so I lean over her and I whisper in her little dog ear and I say, now don't you worry. I'm going to be. Man, okay, actually, Leah, hold on. Yeah, I'm writing you privately.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Where's.
Ooh.
Because.
Secret.
Okay,
I've got a
hold on.
secret.
That is great.
Where are you writing? Oh, okay.
I had a spell that I prepared specifically to use for all of us before we split up and started doing our own things, and then I forgot to do it, and that's like gonna be that's the podcast.
God damn it.
I found as I really like it's a 5th level spell and I was super excited about it. It's telepathic bond where we basically can it lasts for an hour.
Shit.
Yeah, it lasts for an hour. Up to 8 of us can basically like talk to each other like across any distance.
Well, after
Oh,
we all
man.
do our little thing, we should meet back up.
If we
Yeah,
ever
you guys
get back
can meet
together.
up with
Yeah.
each other.
We can. Also, I have skywriting as a spell.
I stocked it because it's stupid.
I've got message. I have
because
so
if I
many
find a
like
suitor
sending all
who
it's
fucking
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, well, see, it's one of those things where it's like so many of my spells, because I'm a fucking warlock, I have to like really just kind of focus on my cantrips. And I'm like, I've got some that do some damage and some that are just going to be for cosmetics because I've got
Yeah.
thaumaturgy and prestidigitation.
Why not? Double down.
That's
Right, I'm just
I
like,
didn't realize you were a warlock.
yeah, I basically reflavored Euphoria, but changed because instead of a fiend, my patron is a fae. My patron is
Huh.
Titania
Oh, cool.
from Midsummer's Night Dream.
Okay, that's dope.
Nice.
Hmm.
And so it's more of the
Nikki, what are you?
A bard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Specifically a poet.
What's
Okay.
funny is that the other people here, the other eligibles, are also classes. I just haven't specialized any of them, except
Ooh.
maybe the countess.
Awesome. That's awesome. This is awesome. Man, I'm so excited that I like how we're all so different. I'm excited about Kylie's patron too.
Okay, so
I kinda wanted to show up at the party.
Ufi
Anyway,
casts-
okay, so I go up. Yes. So Opie walks up to the dog and I say, okay, honey, don't you worry. I'm going to be casting a spell on you while you're racing. Don't be scared, okay? That's just me doing a spell. Don't worry. Shh. And then once the race starts, I'm going to cast it and I'll say what it is.
Okay. So
Or not
you you pet your dog. They all just think that you're wishing them good luck. And then they head over to get in their pens. And well, the start of the race. And then as they call the start and they drop the gates and the little corgis and their little legs are off.
Okay.
It's just,
And I immediately
skitter.
Yes. And even though this is a self-specific one, I don't give a shit. I'm casting it on a dog. I cast Mirror Image so that the little dog becomes multiple little dogs and confuses all the other little dogs. So that maybe they trip over themselves because there's 3 little dogs instead of 1 little dog now.
All right. I'm gonna
That's
do
what I
I'm gonna do three rounds of rolls for each of these little things.
Oh, and I forgot to
and-
place a bet.
Oh
Right
yeah,
now.
what are you betting? Are you betting
Man,
the
I don't know if I
pennies or
should-
are you betting gold?
I don't know. Here, okay. I'm sorry that this is metagaming, I think, but like, what should I do, guys? I only have 5 pennies.
Bet
Should I bet all
2.
5?
I bet
I
2.
like my instinct
That's
was to
reasonable.
bet too. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bet 2 pennies.
Okay. Alrighty. So
Which
we'll
one are you
do
betting?
And 50 gold.
Lady Wolfle down.
Oh yeah, Wolfle down.
Mm-hmm. 50 gold and
Alright.
2 pennies.
Alright, let me see if I remember how I was gonna do this. Sorry. Okay, good. 9, 16. Oh, that was the wrong one. 13.
Did my mirror image trick help at all?
Hold on, I'm gonna do that at the end.
Okay.
And then, what level spell was that?
Hold on, let me check. Second level.
Okay, cool. All right,
Level
so
2.
the corgis are off. You see them head around the corner. You see their little legs flying, their little ears back.
Oh my god.
You see Lady Wolfledown and what was the other one's name? I gave him funny. You see Lady Wolfledown and Duke Digson pull out ahead. They seem to be neck and neck, the other 3 falling behind. It kind of seems to be on par, but just at the last minute, thanks to your spell, it looks like Digson is a little bit more confused as to how many dogs are around him. So he falls behind, and Lady Wolfledown wins.
Yay!
And you are handed you are
Yes!
handed 4 coins.
Oh, fantastic. Any gold?
You didn't bet any gold.
Yeah, she did.
I did.
Oh,
I said I bet 50 gold and 2 coins.
Oh, I didn't hear the 50 gold. Yeah, you're then handed 100 gold.
Woo! Now I have 550 gold. I'm gonna buy so much shit. Okay. Awesome. So now I have 7 coins.
Yes.
Yep.
That's my favorite number. Wonderful.
Such a dork.
Oh, that was quite fun. Good job, little Wolfledown. Don't you just the sweetest little one? Just you are you. win me
Next to
money.
you, Lady Baker, who did not bet on Lady Wolfledown, looks a little put out. Ah, crap. That was like all my coins too. Oh well. I guess I'm gonna have to tease some out of some other guests while I'm here. She kind of eyes you for a minute. Hey, you want to bet again?
No, I think I'm good. But I can get you a drink. Would you like another drink?
Oh, I'd be down
No.
for that. Let's do that.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, so you guys head back to the bar. We're gonna jump back over to who are we at? Theodosia. I think after your episode, I think you've got your water. You are back.
Painting couch.
Fainting couch. You step away from
cute.
the gazebo. You do see off to your left there is also an archery setup.
An
Oh.
archery contest.
Yes, an archery contest.
I didn't.
All in good fun, which is also set up for the use of. Also, it looks like a servant is starting to set up the auction with different items set out, so the auction wouldn't be far off. And there's also, I think, 1 or 2 other things you guys haven't seen yet.
I think I'm curious. I'm feeling a little bit more confident in myself. Might try to find the halfling that smiled at my truth before he went wherever he went.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
12.
You have to ask around a little bit. It's kind of hard to find him just by looking. He is short. But you do get pointed into the direction of, weirdly enough, back inside. You do see he is hovering around the food. And as you're watching him from a little bit farther away, he seems to be sampling different things. And muttering to himself.
Just breathe. We literally just did this a second ago.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stand near where he is and pretend to reach for whatever he might be reaching for.
You're gonna do a meet cute.
I'm gonna
Amazing.
try.
Amazing.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
You got this.
Natural 20.
There you go.
You got this.
So in
Perfect.
perfect timing, you do the whole, you make it look natural, like you've never had this confidence before. You do it, and your hands brush against each other, and he starts a little bit, not expecting it, but looks up and smiles gently, says, "Oh, hello. Sorry about that. Go ahead. I'm sure the lobster croquettes are just lovely. I think they should have added a little bit more pepper, but I'm not going to judge. Please have some."
Oh, right after you. If you look a little familiar. Have I seen you before? I'm internal panic, but trying very hard.
Give me a deception check. You little ball of anxiety, you.
16.
Okay. He says, "Oh, I'm not sure. I've never been to one of these parties. I don't get invited to many of these. I don't ask to be invited to a lot of these, so I don't blame them. But I do love these kind of parties, and I love the food, especially the food." He eyes the food again. But I do get stories from my older cousins who are invited to these things. Anyway, maybe we have seen each other once or twice. I go between the villages often, and I'm usually picking up things either for recipes or for my garden. Yeah, I've been a little bit all over the place. He seems to be just as nervous as you, but he's not as shy.
This is so cute.
I thought that I saw you when I was trying out the Truth or Dare.
Yes. You were the one talking about the poems you wrote.
Yeah.
I must admit I have not read much. I'm a lover of stories, but I've been more of the spoken word than I am the written, and I've told myself in the last year or so that I need to get back into the written word, and poetry might be a good place to start because it's usually a lot shorter than a book. My attention span is quite short, unfortunately. Like me.
Poetry
Oh my
is
God.
might not be as long as a book, but there's such depths within such small passages.
Really? Could you tell me? Could you give me some of yours?
Maybe
Looks expectantly.
Yeah, I'm kind of like looking around. There's a lot of perhaps if we were somewhere more private, I don't.
Sure, come with me. He offers his hand.
I'm desperately looking around for
Oh
my
my
sisters.
Oh.
They are on
Wait, are you
opposite
mentioning-
sides.
I'm by the bar. Is that close?
Oh yeah, you were walking back to the bar. So you're walking back to the bar as this happens. So you do see Ufi with her new lush of a friend, Lady Emmeline.
So I'm gonna turn to Ufi and give her like some big saucer eyes.
I see her and I'm like, excuse me, darling. I'll get you a drink in a second. I have to go talk to my sister. My darling sister.
Stumbles over to a chaise lounge.
I don't think I actually did ever get your name, but this is my sister Ufi. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He bows like feels really bad. He doesn't like have the social skills he wants. It says, "I'm Baron Birch Petty Creek. It's very nice to meet you. I am so sorry." And he starts to like back away, like.
No, it's not. Is he leaving? Well,
no, he's not leaving. He's just like
Oh.
he thinks you called for help because he was being rude.
No, it's just I've never actually. The only people I've ever read these or even let see my own poems are my sisters, and it would just be easier to share them with you with one of them here as well.
Oh, they're wonderful. Yes.
Oh,
I'd love to hear some poetry.
blushing immediately as soon as anybody says they're nice.
He says, "Oh well, I was just gonna say, I know it's kind of awkward, but the pantry here is really big and it's really private.
The
Just a
pantry?
suggestion." Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Oh
No,
God, I never get anything right.
I-
There's also a place
Yes.
below the stairs. I don't.
No, the pantry.
Sorry, what'd you say, Oofy?
Pantry
I
would
said,
be.
yes, it is.
Oh, he looks really bad. He
No.
feels really bad. He's like, "Oh, sorry, that is stupid. I'm sorry. I always get those
I
kind of
didn't
things
say it
wrong."
was
Theodosia kind of like
I
puts
said it was odd.
a
But
little
that's fine.
like
We like odd.
a hand on his arm
He eyes the pumpkins.
Ooh.
to like calm down a little bit.
See?
No, I'm sure Ophi would love to see the pantry with us.
Of course, maybe there are pumpkins there. I could add them to my dress.
She is quite a astute study of different vegetables and such.
Fruit is actually, I found out that the pumpkin is a fruit. Did you know it's a fruit?
It's
I
a,
didn't know that.
it's a fruit.
I did actually know that. It's a gourd. It's a fruit. Even though it doesn't come from a tree, it comes from a vine. But it doesn't grow. And he can like actually goes into like pumpkin.
And I'm like, yes, isn't it bizarre? Oh my goodness.
Yes. But
We're
come.
saying this as we walk.
And he guides you back, and like the staff kind of like eyes him, but they're not gonna like stop him. And he goes to like a really large pantry that they have. But it's really quiet, but it's also serves as basically kind of like the stairs down to the wine cellar. So he says, "Oh, so I came here earlier when I needed a breather. Some of the people out there, they're not the nicest when they learn I'm here. Yes,
Why-
that was a bit too much. I'm sorry. Poetry."
Thank God Charlotte didn't see y'all just walk off into private, like into a undisclosed area with a fucking stranger.
He's a halfling. He'll be fine.
Um,
I'm here.
Doesn't
It's
matter. As
fine.
the older sister, she'd be like, "Where the fuck are you going?"
Scream very loudly. It's true.
if you, Uffy, if you wouldn't mind,
Mhm.
and she kind of like makes like a little twirl with her finger because she's used to you guys turning around for her to read it, so she doesn't have to see you.
Okay, I take his arm and I just like whirl him around with me and I go,
Whoa!
don't worry, trust me, this is worth it. The
Okay.
best way for her to read.
He reaches out
It's
and he
ready.
like picks up a piece of bread, and starts to eat it.
It's just a small stanza or two that I had been working on before after breakfast before the party, and it's not very good. That's okay. Okay, I'm rambling again.
Breathe, you're good. We're very ready.
And if you are to love as the moon loves, it does not steal the night, it only unveils the beauty of the dark. Do not be afraid to go slowly. Even the moon, who carries time on silver shoulders, knows that she cannot be made whole in one night. It's not finished.
You see him turn around and he
I'm literally
begins to
crying.
clap enthusiastically, like truthfully, like honestly. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. I really must. Do you write, like, do you have a book, or perhaps a pamphlet? I would love to read more. He's excitedly eating more bread.
No, no, I don't. These are just a small little journal of this all that I have with me right now, but I could give you a few sheets. And well, no, maybe we can correspond, and I
Don't worry.
could write you that way. But I just am not entirely ready
Just
for the world
picture
to have it
these
yet.
I just picture
Oh,
these two
God.
awkward people facing each other trying to talk, and just Oofy in the middle, just excitedly looking back and forth.
Yep. While crying, because that poem literally brought her to tears.
Oh,
She's very sensitive sometimes.
I believe
But they're such
I've
a
always
poetry.
wanted a pen pal. I think that would be lovely. he seemed to like pat his pockets as if actually looking for a quill at that moment.
Oh, I have one. And
Of course
I'm
you
gonna
fucking
Of
do.
course you do. Yeah.
take the sheet that I
Seriously,
have
if
those
Mom
few
doesn't start patting
stanzas.
you down, Charlotte will.
Few stanzas that's tucked into my hair. I'm surprised she didn't notice it when she put the comb in. But
Awesome.
so gonna take the sheet of paper that I have those two stanzas on and write the name and address of myself and hand it to the halfling.
He looks excitedly down at it and he says, "Oh, thank you. Thank you very much." He reads the name again. Oh, yes. You're new to these things just as I am. That's wonderful. I'm so glad not to be alone in that respect.
I'm looking at them both like, what the fuck? You didn't exchange names before you came to the pantry together? What the hell? That's my look.
Well, I wasn't gonna go without either
I
of.
don't say it.
Oh yeah, no. But
Yeah.
no, it's well, yeah, no, that's why I was trying to tell you didn't need to worry about like not being regularly at things like this because I'm never at things like this. And yeah, and well, I'm gonna go and get some more water. And she leaves.
I leave with her. Hand my arm.
Oh, okay, goodbye. Now I'm alone in the pantry.
I turn and I go,
More
you
bread.
did such a
He's
good
reaches for more
job,
bread.
Leo. Yeah.
Now we know
Theo,
that
that
his
was
carb
wonderful.
is his
You did a
comfort
wonderful
food.
job.
Yeah, I take my hands in Ophi's and just I thank you for that's probably the first person that I've besides you and Shar that
Mhm.
I've read them to. And then earlier, Ophi, you'd be
Mhm.
so proud. I can't even believe I did it myself, but I stood on the Truth or Dare platform and yeah, yes,
No.
it's yeah, so I'm trying, babies, we talked about it, baby steps, and I feel like I took some regular strides this evening.
I am so proud of you, darling. I'm so proud. So, have you met anyone that you're particularly interested in? Like, did you like that gentleman?
He was a delight, to be sure, but there is one person here that I haven't had the chance to really talk to yet, but
Oh,
and
yes.
maybe if
Who's that?
I do you remember at the beginning of the party when we were talking to Aunt Ursula and she pointed the fan at the person I asked about?
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
do. The officer,
yeah,
I believe.
I don't know. There's something about his appearance that makes me inquisitive. But I'm hoping that maybe a few more little things and perhaps I'll have enough courage to not run away when I walk towards him. I don't know.
Perfect. Well, if we run near him, I will make sure to. No, I don't know. I can help you out a little bit. We'll see. I believe in you, darling. You're going to do great. Now, what would you like to do now? Would you like a cupcake, or shall we go find Charlotte?
I think we should find Shaw and see what she's been up to. Have the
Yes, we'll get
Swifts
up
again.
all about everything you've been doing. Adorable.
Okay, so the sisters search for their sister, and you find Charlotte on the arm of a certain elf lord as they watch certain people take on little monsters, little avatar monsters for sport. This
I
seems to be
hold us back so that
this
I'm
also
holding us
seems to
back
be a place
so they
where
can have
people
some
can
private
place
time.
bets.
Where we like here-ish, where we can kind of see them.
We see them, but I turn and I go, hold on. We must make sure to not interrupt Charlotte. She may be doing something very special. Wink, wink.
Do you think? Well, he is quite handsome. She certainly could have done worse.
I think he looks like her type.
I'm
Charlotte
going
Let's
to.
just stand here and
hold-
watch them.
behind her.
Sorry, what, Kylie?
Charlotte senses a disturbance behind her.
I'm going to
Oh shit. We're hiding in the bushes.
point my finger.
The bushes are that big.
You're still
I
trying,
put on my
though.
disguise hat.
No, I'm gonna point my finger at Charlotte and cast message, which is a cantrip. I have to whisper that only she can hear. Char, who have you found?
Charlotte stands up a little bit taller and kind of glances over her shoulder and spots her sisters and considers for a moment how to
Hello.
approach this. And then she just looks at Lord Reginald and said, "Would you give me just a moment, please?"
Of course. If you are still considering joining the bout, it would be very interesting. He seems to be interested in the fighting, but not quite sure how to do it. But he releases your arm.
I am still considering, but I will be back in just a moment.
Sure.
I'll be right
Of
back.
course. Of
And
course.
She turns around and walks over, moving at a gentle pace, but certainly like getting a little bit faster, and gets over to there going, "Hi, what do you need?"
Who are you with?
I am with Lord Reginald.
Reginald.
Lord,
It's the one we were going to battle for.
You're planning to battle, Luffy?
Oh no, that was just a joke. I have someone I'm quite interested
okay.
in now, so you can have that.
You guys
How
can
gen-
talk to, like, multiple people can talk to a singular
How generous
person.
of you, my dear.
Before we all go back in different directions, I did have a brief moment. Oh, Charlotte, you'd be so proud. I think I met a few people here all on my own, and then there was a truth or dare tournament. I'm not sure exactly. It's a stage, and I stood in front of probably 10 different strangers and told a truth of my own and didn't collapse or anything. It was great. And then I even, and Ovi can attest, she was with me, shared some of my poetry with
Isn't that
someone.
amazing? Hmm?
Later, there'll be a magic
did.
bottle that spins, and everybody will have to spend 7 minutes in a closet. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
That would be really funny.
7 minutes locked on another
Yes, wasn't
plane.
that wonderful?
Yeah.
God. Charlotte leans down and like puts her hands on her sister's shoulder and says, "I am so proud of you for stepping out of your box and taking a chance. I cannot tell you how proud I am for you becoming the woman you are becoming."
Kind of like beams and then looks down at her shoes.
Cute. So
And
cute.
from this angle, I can see that you still have some books, but I will not
I-
push the issue any further. I will let you do as you please.
You know, having some of them did help with meeting, I think, a very good friend. It was a. Oh no, I forgot to ask her name.
That's a Terra Druin, if you're talking about the dwarf.
I don't think I asked her name though. I think I just gave her my book and she knew my name.
Oh my god.
I thought she gave it to you, but I could be wrong.
No, it's all good. Okay, but yeah, lovely. Another friend.
We'll listen in the playback.
Yeah, we'll see who was right. Play along at home. And then I do want to do something for us all, just because I desperately needed one of you earlier, and I'm so glad I happened upon Ophi, but I do want to make sure if we ever need one another tonight, we'll be able just to reach across and contact one another, and then I'm gonna kind of like ask for their hands, and then like and you all hold each other's as well. And then I'm gonna say the words "in perfect love and perfect
Okay.
trust,"
Hands
and
out.
then my kind of lilac magic kind of entwines around us, like a ribbon almost comes out from me and entwines our arms and hands together, creating Rary's telepathic bond. It's a level 5 spell. I'll put it in the... So we have a telepathic link amongst us where we can communicate telepathically through the bond, regardless of language, and we can communicate no matter how far we are, as long as we're not on a different plane of existence.
So 7 minutes in another plane won't help us.
No.
God damn
Damn.
it.
It says it lasts for an hour, so we'll have it for at least that long.
All right.
Wonderful. What's good thinking? You're so clever. I pat her head. Pat, pat.
I just.
All right, everybody, give me perception checks really quick.
Okay.
$18.
Wow, damn.
All right.
10.
Thea, you see your new friend is going towards her brother, who's getting a little boisterous, even louder than for regular party goers. Charlotte, you don't notice anything that your dear friend is still back at where you left him. And Oofy, the only thing you notice is that the Countess is gone from the dance floor.
So you were saying...
It's my time.
You were saying the Duchess... Can you repeat what you said? I noticed. I'm sorry. I was trying to process it.
The Duchess, Atara, the dwarf you were talking to, she has come out from her hiding place around the corner, and she is going towards the bar area where her brother is getting quite loud.
Oh, I think I should. I'm gonna go and see if I can just, I guess, be there for Atara, and I will call down through the bond if I need any help.
That's perfect. I also have somewhere to be, so don't you worry. I head off towards the wisteria.
And I have someone to meet up with again. Oh, before you girls go, I did learn something from Lord Reginald. Apparently, it has been made well known to the guests about our benefactor offering a decent dowry for us. So just be cautious of people who seem interested for not so wholesome reasons.
Do we know who our benefactor is? I don't remember Mother ever saying.
She did
never
not.
did say, but apparently other people know, so make sure that you are treated properly and not like a purse string.
And the way he explained it is, it's decent's the right word. It's not humongous, so certain people with titles might not find it extremely high, but other people might. So depending on their status / their monetary level, they may not consider it really big, considerable but not really big, but other people might consider it pretty big, depending on who you're talking to.
Be cautious, my dear sisters.
Yes, of course. And kiss
Thank you for
her
the
cheek before toddling off. Or both of their cheeks.
Cheek.
Yeah.
And I give
Everybody's kissing cheeks.
I give them both a kiss and then I scurry off back to the fighting ring.
The little avatar battles.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Whatever those are.
Awesome, yes. Okay, great.
Okay. Then, so Theo, you're heading towards the bar area where the two dwarf siblings are. As you're nearing, you do see that Atara is trying to kind of calm her brother, who's getting quite heated. He doesn't seem to be angry. He just seems to be loud and boisterous. And he's kind of talking to what seems to be one of the chaperones, like an older lord. And you see Atera go, brother, really? You don't need to be so loud. No, he needs to know that this new venture is what money needs to be funneled into here. I have to tell everyone, just so we can support the family even more and make sure that people like you are just as comfortable in the house. I'm just explaining once again what my plans are, and I'm telling you, this thing is going to take off. And you see Atera. I know, brother, you've told everybody. I'm sure it's going to do very well, but this is a party for something else.
I'm sorry, I can't.
The poor chaperone is just like nodding along as he's like going on and on about this new venture. And Atera is just trying to roll her eyes and trying to like gently like get him to calm down and maybe quiet down a little bit.
Tara, is everything okay?
She looks up, surprised to see somebody A, saying her name, and B, actually talking to her. She says, yes, everything's fine. He's just, ever since he's had the one company that has given him money to start up, he's been telling everybody about it, and it's not that I don't have faith in it or anything like that. It's just, this doesn't seem like the kind of place that, you need to share that sort of thing. You see Amberin looks over, says, another person interested. Come, you can learn of this new opportunity I have. Come. And he like literally like gently pulls your arm over next to the chaperone.
I've said no.
He completely ignores you. Atera tries to like gently put herself between you two, just so you kind of have a buffer if you want to escape. Amberin, who has been drinking, he says, "Now look, if you've ever been in a forest and you've wanted to get from one place to another, especially where those elven homes are way up high, we found this new way. You build this high tensile line, and you can travel from one place to another
Is he talking
very
about
quickly.
An elevator?
No, not up and down. North and south, west and east. It's horizontal motion, and you have a pulley system.
A zip
And-
line?
Zip line.
That's what we will call it, because you can get from one place to another in a zip. That's perfect.
I'm sure that
We were just going to call it tensile wire from A to B.
Oh my. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and
Yes.
I am quite busy. My elder brother is calling me, and I've got to go be with, and Atari needs to meet him as well. So we're just going to go ahead and we'll leave you to it then.
Give me a deception check.
Nat 20.
She's
used to making a lot of excuses.
You tell him about my venture too. If he wants to hear it, just come to the bar. We'll talk all about it. Atera looks.
You bet.
She looks kind of annoyed to have to deal with her brother, but she happily goes with you. He has gained a lot of capital, and I can't blame him, and he's supporting the household right now. But it's things like this where I think he just goes too far.
He certainly has enthusiasm, which, is very useful in an entrepreneurial setting. But
I mean,
are you okay? Because you seemed more frazzled by it than anybody else.
Well, so he's the oldest sibling, and well, him doing well is very good for the family. But as the second oldest, it doesn't always prove too well on me, especially with 11 other mouths in the house to feed. It's I don't think I can talk about this.
Nope. You don't have to say anything that you're not comfortable with. I merely just wanted to try and, I don't know, it seemed like you needed a little help standing, and if you need that support, very happy to give it to you for tonight. Or you do, and I kind of like tap the Book of Frankenstein. And you do know where to find me if you need it other nights.
She blushes really hard, but then immediately looks like guilty about it. And she nods. She goes, thank you. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna go over. I think there's some cupcakes that looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, yes. And do you? I think I'll let you go that way first, and then maybe find you a little later.
Yeah. If you want to find me later, that's fine.
Okay. I don't know, I feel like she might need some alone time. So.
All right. Then we're gonna jump over to Ufi. Are you going in search of your wisteria?
Fuck yeah.
At least you know there's no
Even
genie.
though it's true. It's in Samantha's mind, I'm like, I have a feeling this bitch don't got no money and she's using me. But for Ophi, she's not gonna think like that. She's gonna be like, look at this fancy clothing. Also, I like her vibe.
So you go towards the wisteria tree. There happens to be only one in the garden. And under it, you do see the Countess Ornetta is sitting down enjoying a glass of wine. Her dress has kind of dipped down low a little bit, so there's more of her chest area showing. But she looks pink-cheeked and happy. Every once in a while, she'll wave her hand, causing little magical sparks to dance around the leaves of the tree. And when you approach, she looks up and she grins. I knew I'd see you here eventually.
Mm-hmm. And I look and I go, well, of course you knew I was coming. I just had to give you a little bit of time with those other people, those little ones that were bothering you.
Oh,
just
don't
so
get
you
me
could
started.
Miss me. Mm-hmm.
Those two.
You did miss me, huh?
Of course I missed you. I missed those cute pumpkins. And the ones on your dress.
Oh my god. these two are insufferable.
I did have to put some things. I did have to put some things in those drinks of theirs just to get them away from me for a little while. They should be fine in about an hour.
Who are those people, by the way? Are we going to be dealing with them for the rest of our lives?
Oh, hopefully not. One of them. The elf was Henrietta Blankenship, and the dwarf was Teresa Ritt. They're very much hoity-toity, I think is the correct word for them. Never know how to have a good time. Always have their eye on the prize, as they say.
And what prize is this, do you think?
Oh, well, I believe you found one.
I did not meet it for you.
You might have found one underneath the wisteria tree.
Oh my god. I can't handle it. Oh my god.
Ornetta makes a
with this at all.
Yeah, Ornetta makes a come hither look and finger movement.
And Ophi does, cause duh. She's totally in this suit.
I might have had a little bit to drink, my dear, but may I kiss you?
Oh, well, hold on. Let me check. And I look around. And I see if there's anyone there. Is there anyone there? Perception check. Investigation check. Perception check.
Basically.
Oh my god.
The moment of something is not right.
One of them is getting into trouble, and it's not
Horrible.
Theodosia.
Horrible perception.
There doesn't seem to be anybody here that you can see.
Goddamn scandal.
That I can see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Charlotte's spider senses are going. Her Peter Kindle is on the rise.
So the Countess gently pulls you close. She's very sweet about it. She doesn't look like she's going in to make out with you or anything like that. But she does cup your chin and bring you close to kiss you.
Mm-hmm.
But then right as she tries to kiss you, you see what can only be described as a ghost step out from the tree. Ornetta Bloom! What did I tell you? I knew I should have been here sooner! And you see Ornetta just start crumbling.
There's a ghost! It's a ghost!
Groaning.
What is happening?
I'm so sorry. I thought I put enough wards on the house, but apparently he's able to follow me if he gets it in his head. You see the ghost bow. Says, I am Count Olath Bloom. This will be my father. I'm very sorry. Give me a moment. I believe I can hex him back to the house. But just give me a moment. I hope the mood hasn't been ruined. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. I deal with him on a daily basis.
I deal with my mother as well.
The Count, you were supposed to give me grandchildren by now. Father, I'm 19. I expected grandchildren by now. I don't like children. Grandchildren, young lady. Give me a moment. I think he wants
grandchildren. I
do. You see her pull out a book, which is a sorcerer's book, from her pocket, and basically flip through it, trying to find the right way to banish him back to the house. I'm so sorry about this.
It's fine.
Normally, I can usually keep him at home. It's like a few awkward minutes of her like looking through spells and him like shouting about needing a lineage and shit like that.
Hold on. As she's looking through spells, I turn to him and I go, "Excuse me, sir. I have a quick question for you."
Yes, young lady.
Yes, I was wondering, what is your opinion on pumpkins? Because personally, I think they're going to be the next big trend of the season. What do you think? And I just give him a completely dead stare.
Pumpkins. Well,
yes.
I don't know if I have any thoughts on pumpkins. I've been inside the house for a very long time.
Are there pumpkins in your house?
No, there's no pumpkins in our house.
I think it would probably lift your spirits quite a bit if you got a few pumpkins. They really do cheer up a place. Have you thought about it?
I shall have to talk to her mother about this. Maybe I can convince Ornetta to put some pumpkins around the place. Ornetta looks like she wants to die.
I would be more than happy to also talk to your wife about this, because I'm sure we could come to a very, very good conclusion.
I can go get her. I can go get her. No, you can't. No, you can't. No. Flips through the page and she draws the sign in the air, and suddenly you see the father disappear. And Ornetta just slumps down.
Talk about meeting
Was I able to distract him long enough? Did that help?
Yes, thank you. Unfortunately, they are in my house. It's why I like coming to these parties and why I enjoy the outside a lot more than my own house. It is my responsibility, but I come here to escape them. Unfortunately, it is the house that's been in my line for many generations, and I have to upkeep it, which also means keeping up with my parents, who are dead. I'm sorry, this has completely ruined the mood. Le petit mort.
I mean, God damn it, dude. It doesn't necessarily have to ruin the mood. I suppose the question is, will they always be around? Do they have their own space? Can you keep them in a space? Perhaps I could make some kind of a cell. You get them to move to the other
plane.
I have tried many times. Unfortunately, they are quite attached to the house, and I would hate to demolish the place. That just seems quite rude.
Understandable. Perhaps I could help to build a little house for them in the back, and in fact I could magic it a bit to kind of keep them there. You think perhaps that would help? We could have a door. They could come out of the door and then occasionally go back into the door. We could keep the door locked,
She thinks about it for a minute, and then she kind of chuckles. Would there be pumpkin motifs on it?
Of course there would be pumpkin motifs until next season, and then we would change the motif.
She chuckles and then she kisses you.
And I go, "Oh, Well, that was lovely.
Okay, we're gonna jump over really quick to who are we? Charlotte.
Oh my god.
Charlotte, you're at this little fighting ring thing. That's when the little people become avatars, they're like no higher than your knee, and they're fighting like conjured little monsters. So nobody really gets hurt. It's just that you have control over your little visage. So that's what the fight is. So you can place bets on who's fighting, or you can fight yourself and win. It's kind of that's the option that if you wanted to join, or you can just watch and or go somewhere else. There's one or two other places you haven't been yet. So
I look over to Reginald, and can I see, is he kind of wanting to lean one way or another?
he doesn't look interested in fighting himself. He might place a bet, but he's not really a betting man. You see, he's not reaching for his purse or anything like that. But he does enjoy the sport of it. He finds the whole mechanic interesting,
Mm-hmm.
like the little avatars and monsters. He finds interesting, but he doesn't seem like he wants to fight.
It's quite interesting, don't you think, that you can basically you are fighting, but there's no actual risk to yourself?
Yes, it's very interesting and much more humane than some of the fights
It's very
that
true.
go on.
And it's also very interesting because it gives you the chance to basically just go for it, because there's no risk of you actually getting hurt. It's just the game is over.
Yes, quite. I'm trying to look over the barbarity of it, as nobody's actually getting hurt, but it's still fascinating.
Yes, indeed.
Quite. We're so British.
I love it.
Does it look like there's a match about to start?
Yeah, it looks like one's winding down, and other people can join in or place bets.
Well, do you want to place a wager?
Sure. I could be convinced to place a small wager.
And if you wanted, we could do like the actual wager and then like a personal wager.
I'm confused.
Basically, we can bet against each other, and whoever wins gets to ask a question or gets a request from the loser.
Oh, he seems to get it.
Oh my goodness.
I understand what you mean. I believe that would be quite all right, and a
Don't feel
sporting
pressured
time.
into it. I don't want to
No,
force
no,
you.
no, come. And he takes out a very hefty purse of gold, as well as the pennies he has. You see approaching, you see one of the other party goers, looks to be probably a knight, maybe a soldier, that he looks like he's about to start a fight. You don't know what monsters are conjured. The mechanic itself kind of just, the mechanism itself kind of just pulls up a monster that's kind of on par with the person, and they go at it then.
All right. I am going to bet 2 coins on the knight.
Are you, so you're on kind of the side of the knight, to be a good sport, the Reginald goes to the other side where the monster is going to be conjured, and he puts 2 coins down as well as some gold, but he so you're beside the knight, so did you want to do anything?
Like, give them any buffs or anything?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything I can do. I don't think I have any like buffs or anything, unfortunately.
Okay.
The only thing I could think of would be I've got something that could affect the monster, but since it's all basically
Simulated.
virtual or whatever. I don't necessarily want to
Okay.
bother.
All right. Then I'm going to do this. So he steps onto this little plate that glows, and a little mini version of him appears in the ring. At the same time, you see the visage of what seems to be a gargoyle appear across from him. And normally this would be a normal fight, so I'm just going to simulate kind of what I think would happen. So we'll do... Well, the knight goes first, because the monster gets a 17. And then I'm just gonna do a few rounds of. I think I just might do. We'll just raw roll it.
That sounded so wrong.
I know it did, didn't it? So you see them go
God.
blow to blow. The knight's got a sword. He hacks at the gargoyle, who fights back with his claws and teeth. But the knight gets in at the right time, slashes down, takes off the gargoyle's head, and he wins. And he steps back. His little avatar disappears, and he gets his winnings. He gets something. Even though if he didn't bet, he still gets something for winning. So you see him get a few of the coins for winning, and you are handed 4 gold or 4 pennies.
I go up.
Lord Reginald rounds the little area, and he doesn't look like a sore loser or anything like that. He says, "Oh, I see you can judge an opponent quite well. Congratulations on your win, my lady."
Thank you very much. Thank you for being a good sport. Let's see, now for my...
Oh yes,
This is
I do believe
prize.
you are owed a prize.
Let's see. I'm going to continue to think about this, but I will let you know what I want.
Of course, he chuckles. And as you guys are stepping away from the fighting area, you do see a servant come out and announce that the auction will now be taking place. All those interested in the auction items that have been placed out will get a few minutes to look over the items, and then we're going to start the bidding process. So this is said loud enough so all of you can hear it.
Where is that at?
Right over here, the tables with the stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna walk over there. Do I see?
Shall we go?
Oh, I guess you two sit up. I don't know how far you got.
Oh my God.
Saying,
Who knows?
you still have your clothes on. And you said, "Oh,
Yes.
I think there was a few interesting items. Come, let's go and see. Not that I need any more cursed items in my house, but let's go see what they have."
Do I
Charlotte
see?
gently
We link
tugs
arms.
Reginald along with
Go.
her.
Sir,
He follows, also interested. Sorry, what?
do I see Sir Finry anywhere?
It seems like just about everybody's gathering around. It was kind of an interesting announcement. So yeah, you do see him in the crowd.
I'm gonna try and stand near
So
him
cute.
if I can.
Sure, you want to wiggle over next to him?
Mhm.
You could say something real inappropriate.
What?
What?
Yeah, she wants to wiggle near him.
Oh, not that kind of wiggle.
No
When you
judgment.
get near to him,
Wiggle.
maybe
That's
just
it.
a little closer than like just normally standing next to each other, he tenses a little bit and glances over, but he's very polite and keeps his eyes ahead. And much like a soldier, his hands behind his back, like as if he's at rest. But he's again not mean or anything like that. It just kind of seems to be drilled into him. So the other two, you guys are also making your way over.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's a few minutes that you can gaze over the objects and take a look at them. You can't pick them up or handle them or anything like that, but you can take a look at them. There is a fine-looking hat with gold stitching. It looks to be a tricorn. And you do see that there is some kind of motif, but without looking closer surreptitiously, it's kind of hard to see what it is. There is a beautifully ornately carved mug with blue jewels along the bottom rim. There is a cloak of this many different colors, but they're all like these earth tones, so it looks nice. There's a brooch that has like a few different. It has 9 different small jewels in like a checkered pattern on it. And then there is also a wand that is gold with like a vine-like pattern on it.
Oh, I think I'm quite fond of that brooch. I think I'll try for it.
Okay. So auctioning is weird in D&D because I have to play the other characters as if they're auctioning, as if they're betting. So each one of them has a threshold for how much they're willing to bet that I've kept. And if you know, if you've learned their personalities, you might be able to guess, how far they're willing to go and what they're interested in. So it's up to you. I think you, 2 of you have 500 and 1 of you has 550. And
Yep.
each item, the servant has told you, each item is to start at 50 gold. So he steps up and he holds out the cloak. It ruffles a little bit, looks very nice, earthy tones. He calls out for the starting bid at 50. You hear a small drunken call from the back, Lady Emmeline, who's sitting down, nursing probably her 7th drink. She calls out for 100. And he looks around for any other bets or bids.
105.
Going once. 105. Emmeline, she grins and winks at you, and she holds up the hand. 150.
I thought she didn't have any money.
155.
What?
I thought she didn't have any. Well, no, just more inner thought.
She didn't have any of the pennies.
Oh, there we go.
She bet all her pennies.
That's right.
Lady Emmeline, she eyes you for a little bit, and then she shakes her head. He looks around. It's going once, going twice. Sold to the young lady, Miss Swift.
Oh, thank you.
And he hands you over a cloak. Do you put it on or just hold it?
Is it just a cloak?
You wouldn't know unless you put it on.
I'll put it on.
Unless you have identify.
I do. I could do it for you later.
Ooh.
If you want.
Yes, I hand it to my sister.
It takes me 10 minutes to figure out what it is, though, for a ritual spell. So maybe after?
Perfect.
Maybe after?
Here, darling. Yes, we'll look after. I put it in my bag of holding.
Okay. He says, next will be this lovely mug. And we'll start the bidding at 50. Anybody bidding 50? You hear Lady Emmeline again go, 100! 100! But then you hear Duke Amberin say 120.
Awesome.
I wanted to bid on that, too. 125.
125. And you see Countess Ornetta raises her hand. She says 150.
155.
That's the
Duke Amberin says 170.
175.
She's so quiet. So the auctioneer, he looks around. He doesn't see any takers. Doesn't seem anybody wants to try anymore. Says going once, going twice. Sold to Miss Swift. Here you are. This mug is yours. And he hands you the mug with the blue jewels on the bottom.
This is going to be wonderful for coffee.
The
take
next is the hat. He shows it. He lifts it and shows it a little bit. Starting off at 50.
50.
So we have a 50. Lord Reginald, he scrutinizes the hat for a minute. 100. And
105.
Goodness.
Countess Ornetta looks up and she chuckles and then says 200.
I'm
You
just
guys are-
nodding. I'm like, yeah,
You
go for
guys
it.
are keeping track of your money, right?
I'm doing it right now.
Yep.
for
Okay, I'm just
myself.
making sure.
have-
Okay.
I have 395 left.
Lord Reginald looks up, 250. And Countess kind of glares at him a little bit, and then says 300. The servant looks around, 300.
Get it, girl.
Going once, going twice. Countess Bloom, this is yours, and hands over the hat. She looks like she grins
Congrats.
and looks over the. She looks over the the gold trim that's around it. And Ophi, you're right next to her, right?
Mhm.
Ophi, you lean over. You see that the gold trim, is in the shape of rats.
Ugh.
Oh, that's so cool.
Ugh.
Ooh.
She seems to admire the
Fabulous.
trim and grins, but she doesn't put the hat on. She just holds it. Next is the brooch. He holds up the brooch and says,
Cool.
50.
50.
50. See Sir Coralesque looks up. He seems a little bit interested in it, scrutinizes it for a minute. It says 100.
105.
Duke Amberin also seems to be interested in this, and he says 150.
155.
Coralesque comes back in and says 170.
175.
You
We've got a pattern.
can-
And telling you to
Uh,
add fives, man.
Duke Amberin then says 200. Coralesque looks like
205.
he's out of it. Amberin looks a little mad and says 220.
Ooh.
225.
230.
235.
240.
245.
She's quite the stubborn one, isn't she?
250. You see Atera is trying to be like, brother, no, we don't need it. It's not worth it.
You've got your business to think about.
260.
Oh, Jesus.
265.
Oh, goodness. Both of them are just never going to stop.
Atera finally just holds his arm down. He looks kind of put out. The servant look around, and then he says, nod. Another one for Miss Swift. Here you are.
No, thank you.
Hands over this brooch.
I put it in my bag.
Um,
I want to hear the description first. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's a
That's
brooch. It's a gold circular brooch with 9 stones in it in a checkered pattern. But they kind of be separated by gold. Best way to put it is it kind of looks like a number sign with jewels.
Like a tic-tac-toe
cool.
board.
Okay, cool. Mm.
And
Maybe
the
Sudoku,
last is the
maybe?
wand. He shows the wand at 50.
50.
50 for the dear lady. You see Sir Fenrir look up, scrutinize the wand for a minute, and says 100.
Well, to follow in my sister's footsteps, 105. Working for them, so I might as well give it a shot.
The Countess looks
We
up,
have a method.
considers it for a minute, says 120.
125.
Lord Reginald looks up. It's 150. He winks at you.
She looks at him like, you stinker. 155.
He bows to you as if to let you have this one.
I
But
watched it. I've still got a bet that I won.
but Baron Birch says 170.
175.
The Countess looks like, nah, I've got my prize. But the Baron looks a little bit interested. He says 180.
200.
The Baron actually looks a little bit surprised. And then he looks to the wand and then shakes his head. The servant glances around, going once, going twice. Ah, another Miss Swift prize, I see. And hands over the wand.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
And that is it for the auction. Thank you once again for supporting the orphanage. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. And people start to disperse.
And kind of like holding the cup
Awesome.
to Sir Fenris. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Fenrir? Or Fenrir, not Fenrir.
Fenrir.
He glances down at it and is surprised you're talking to him. And not meant rude. He's just surprised people are talking to him. And he
Socially
Oh.
awkward panda.
he says, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not much for serving dishes and the like. I've never seen anything like it. It's quite nice though."
I did see you perk up for. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. My name is Theodosia, and she kind of holds out her hand.
Sir Fenrir Davidson. It's lovely to meet you. He takes your hand and he does the chivalrous thing and kisses your knuckles.
Aww.
Red.
Someone get the smelling salt. She's gonna pass out again.
I don't. I hope this isn't embarrassing, but I did notice you earlier tonight and was curious what brought you to the party.
Oh. Normally, what brings me out of the house into such situations is propriety. My father was of these circles, and many of these chaperones are his friends, and he does know many of the eligible here as well. So it is a duty to come out and visit with his friends as well, and represent my household. And as my mother says, the people need to see a uniform once in a while to assure them that Her Majesty's army is always at the call.
How long?
I guess it would be His Majesty's. Sorry.
Yeah. How long have you been a part of the service?
Well, for about 7 years. As soon as I was able to hold a blade and take orders from another besides my father, I was sent to the proper education facilities and trained in the ways of the officer.
The ways of the officer. I'm quite curious what actually that means.
He looks kind of embarrassed because he knows he's not poetic or anything like that. He's very much a soldier, and that's kind of all he's known.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean for. I'm just, I can be so good with words, and then when I want to find the right ones for the right people, they just fly away from me like little birds.
You speak as a poet. Well, I could never. I'm afraid that when you wear the uniform as long as I have, and taken and given orders as long as I have, you learned that there is a strict regimen in just about every part of life, including speech. Forgive me, I'm not one for flowery talk, but I'm not one to discourage it either.
Well,
Forgive me.
even verse has structure. More often than not, there are a certain amount of syllables, a certain amount of words, or even what you should end a sentence with. There's a lot of beauty to be found in structure. So you needn't worry about that.
It's very kind of you, but I'm afraid I have an unartistic art as unartistic heart, as my mother would probably say. She is very honest. I was meant for the battlefield, I believe, even though it's not one of my favorite places. He looks kind of like abashed for saying such a thing, given that he's wearing a uniform.
Well, when you're not on the field, when you're at peace, what do you like to do?
Oh, um, did you see the girl wearing pumpkins?
My sister, yes.
Oh,
my
that's your
gosh.
sister. Oh, fascinating.
Yes,
Um,
if you like, I could try and make an introduction for
no,
you.
no, no. It wasn't her in general. It's the pumpkins. It's the growing of agriculture. I've always found farming quite fascinating, and I will go out once in a while, and I have friends among the farming community that I'll help with once in a while, and it is dirty work, but I find it strangely calming.
You know,
Nobody yells at me out there.
that's quite poetic in a way. Someone trained in the art of battle, the art of giving death, instead prefers to give life, right?
Oh well, when it's
Surely you can see
said like
that.
that.
Oh, again, the little birds. Well, I can see I've made you maybe a little more uncomfortable, which was not my
No,
intent.
no, no, no. It's it was said very, very sweetly. It was phrased much better than I would have thought, or probably what my father would have thought. A laborer's work is not a proper one for the country, as they say, or as he would say.
Um, I don't know if they're still dancing, but if you wanted to try a turn, we could do that. If you
Uh,
want, or I could just leave you be. Whatever's better for. Okay, and she kind of starts getting like redder, red. She's like
I would
looking
I would
down at
love
her
a
shoes.
dance.
Okay. A slow song though. A
Of
little
course.
clumsy.
He offers his arm, and offers to walk you to the dance floor. And as you step on the dance floor, you realize he is a very good dancer.
Oh no, I'm going to step all over it.
No, give me a dex check with advantage.
A 21 would have been a 13.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You whirl in his hands perfectly, and he dips you sweetly, and you seem to be at complete ease with him. You don't even seem to step up a step off of key or at the right beats. All at the right time. I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. I'm just as tongue-tied as he is. But you two go across the dance floor as if you belong
method.
there.
It's very method.
Yeah. As if you both belong there. And you both look very nice. And So, so do you still have the cup, by the way?
I do. Oh, and at the end of this dance, I kind of like
Oh.
take a moment where I'm lost in a minute, but then it like snaps in. I promised my sister we'd look at these objects. I I will find you again. And
Just bring him.
like curtsy.
Bring him with.
I've already imposed so much on. I can hear it down the bond.
I'm telepathically
Yeah.
telling you this. I'm telling you this. I'm like, bring him with you, sister. Bring him. Bring him with
You sound like a witch. Bring him.
Yep. Bring him with to see these objects.
Like the three witches from Hocus Pocus.
Oh my god, perfect.
Would you come with me?
Sure. Where are we going?
To meet, you remember the pumpkins?
Sure. If
Well,
awesome.
I made a
God
promise, and I'm in the habit of keeping those, so it'll be very well. I hope it'll be fast, but sometimes Effie has a way of making a minute feel like an hour. That's part of her job. You'll see. Come. And I kind of like lace my
That's
fingers
awesome.
in
Oh my
his
God.
and take him to her.
Okay. You two
God damn
step
it.
off the dance floor and meet with your sisters off to the side of the dance floor, with your auction winnings in hand.
Awesome. Oh, hello, sir. Who's this?
Did you bring him for the sacrifice?
No. She doesn't mean. She's not.
Damn it.
She doesn't mean that.
I apologize for my sister's behavior. She's a bit of a something.
That was a very nice way to put that. Thank you.
Shaw does have a lovely joke about her being hatched. So
I remember it so vividly. Kept asking Mother why we had to have another one.
but so how this is Sir Finry. Sir Finry, this is my sister Charlotte and my sister Ophi.
Pleasure.
Hello.
Pleasure to meet you, my ladies.
And
Yes, and
I did say.
this is Countess Ornetta Bloom.
Oh, hello, Fenry dear. It's good to see you here again.
And this is Lord Reginald Treestride.
Oh, yes, the old elf. We're good.
My. You are
Countess, it's good to see you again.
beautiful. All right.
What?
So I think I can do this for it's either one at a time, or I don't know if I can do. No, it's one object. Okay. All right. One object, and I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit faster than 10 minutes, but sometimes it just takes what time it takes. So if you need to go get some punch or anything, completely understand. Or if you want, I could just report to you about that. I'm just gonna get started. And takes one of the items from whoever wants to give me one of them first.
Oh, I have quite a few. I can give you.
Oh, you're going to identify them, dear. Oh, I know what mine is. You're good.
Oh, great.
What is it?
Oh, it's a hat of vermin. You use it to
What
call
does
rats.
that do?
Why would
You
you
call rats.
That's lovely.
Like-
Interesting.
like the Pied Piper?
Yes, it's quite helpful in my kind of business, and my house in general. Plus, it's very funny to watch people find rats in unusual places.
That is fantastic. That's lovely, dear. I love it.
You can just call the rats. So can you also like control them? Like
Yes, you can call them and send them away, and if you really want, I guess you can ask them to fight for you.
you could put on
But I don't know why you need that.
You could put on little plays. You could have your own Shakespeare, but with rats, I suppose. But art nonetheless, I guess. Okay. Any other? I know you're good.
Here.
Ophi?
I would like to see what this cloak does. I have a couple of items actually, but here's this cloak first.
Identify as a ritual on that.
Okay, you have identified the Cloak of Billowing. You now have a cool cloak that billows. Isn't that nifty?
God damn it.
Fucking hell.
I love it. It's beautiful. You know,
Is that
billowing
legitimately an
is
item, or did
quite
you make that
fabulous.
shit up?
That
No.
is a 5E item, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
That's
oh
real.
my
God.
god.
It basically makes it look like
That's
you've always got
hilarious.
a fan in
Yep.
front of you.
So it's an anime
Oh my
cloak.
god.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant.
Do you
Oh my
have
god, fantastic.
anything else, sister?
And here is this brooch.
Oh, and takes it in her hands again. That lilac magic goes around it for identify.
You stand there for for 5 minutes, staring at a brooch.
It's being quite difficult, this one.
And you find out it is the brooch of number numbing.
What?
What is that?
It is I love this one because it's so stupid.
Oh my god.
It is magic powers imbued into a piece of jewelry could only be activated if worn in plain sight of the intended target. The enchantments affected a target passively, clouding the minds of individuals with whom the owner conversed. Affected targets forgot the relative value of numbers, making it impossible for them to work with money, haggle, or perform any number-related tasks. What made these clasps
Oh my
even more
God.
useful was the fact that the individuals affected with mind-numbing did not recognize the inability to handle numbers nor remembered their values. Affected thought that all numbers were the same and agreed to any number-related claim or deal. However, concepts related to money, such as gold being more expensive than silver, remained unaffected.
Oh my
This will be fantastic if we decide to cheat the IRS.
yes.
Oh, that's wonderful, darling.
I'm kind of
I
glad
like the way you think.
that you got it, not somebody else.
Yes,
Okay,
that is probably quite good.
all right. And then did you obtain that wand, Char?
Yes. But let me just and she looks up to Reginald and holds it up. Could you identify this without a spell?
Ooh.
Reginald chuckles, says, "Yes, I can." And Sir Fenry says, "I could as well.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
It's a wand of
The-
smiles."
Good to know.
does it? It makes people smile?
You pointed at
Is
people,
that what it
and
does?
yep, it's a wand of smiles. It forces people to smile. However, after a certain number of charges, it will turn into a wand of frowns.
Mm-hmm.
I can certainly
Oh,
imagine
my.
some times that mother could use a smile.
When dealing with me.
Of course.
And then I guess the last one I have is this mug, unless, well, we could sit here for another 10 or so minutes, but if anybody maybe knows what it is and wants to help out, or I could just, I'm gonna.
You can just do the spell again. It's
Yeah,
a video.
identify.
Okay. You have the tankard of sobriety.
Oh.
Whatever alcoholic beverage goes in it loses its alcoholic abilities. So
Oh,
you
We
can
should
drink
have
and
let the
drink
dwarf
and
win
drink.
it.
What?
Maybe we should have let the dwarf win it.
Either that or
I'm going to give it to my
the
sister.
tiefling I was dating earlier.
I know just who to give this to make a present of it to.
Hmm.
I'm going to give it to Atara so that she can give it to her brother.
Aw.
That's very
Oh, that's
sweet
lovely.
of you.
Very
Look
lovely
at my
thinking.
precious baby sister, always thinking of her friends. And she pinches her cheek and kind of gets a little embarrassing.
Stop! Don't do. I'm not a baby. I'm not.
I know, but you know I had to do it at least once, just to satisfy mother.
Look,
Um,
it's
Baby promised.
As you guys are chuckling and teasing one another, a servant comes out. You do notice that the sky has started to darken. They've lit the lanterns in the garden, so people can still enjoy a few festivities. But he does announce that the viewing blankets up on the hill for the stars have been set out. So if people would like to go and enjoy the stars, alone or with somebody else, they are more than welcome.
Shall we? I turn to the Countess.
I would be delighted, my darling. She takes your arm.
And we're off.
Oh, both of them together, that's going to spell trouble.
Probably.
She doesn't even know about the ghosts.
Yeah. She's completely
No,
unaware that
what'll
there's
probably
ghosts
happen. No, I'm not
involved.
gonna say what'll
Fun
probably
family
happen.
Fun family get-togethers now. And ghosts in there. I turn around and I turn to my sisters
Charlotte
and their
and-
bows and I go, "Are you coming too?" Diddle daddle.
If you have somewhere else or someone else you wanted to see the stars with, I understand it's perfectly all right. And she just starts walking away.
Oh no.
Fenry's not sure because he's kind of just met you half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Baby.
But he quickly stops you and says, perhaps we can look at the stars and speak more about ourselves together.
Cute.
I'd like that very much. Let's go.
And he offers his arm.
Takes it.
Lord Reginald looks to Charlotte. I wouldn't be presumptuous, but would you like to go gaze at the stars, my dear?
I think that would be nice, but perhaps on the way, you'd also not mind a twirl about on the dance floor? Last time I was there, I was a bit competitive.
I would be delighted, my dear. And he guides you out onto the dance floor, which is actually not as populated because everybody's kind of going off to watch the stars. So you kind of have your own private place to dance as the stars start to twinkle above. And you guys head up to the hill, and there's blankets set out for each of you. And you all sit, and the stars are above that you can enjoy together. Maybe you cuddle a little bit. Maybe you start thinking about the people you've met today. Maybe the person you're sitting with right now. Maybe somebody else. But you seem to be happy in your current situation. As Charlotte dances with Lord Reginald, the Countess happily cuddles close to her pumpkin, and Theodosia shyly holds hands with Sir Fenry. You seem to be enjoying the night together, maybe thinking about what your mother said and what the mysterious benefactor has helped you achieve. And it seems to be a fond night and a good way to close the night. After about an hour, the servants tell you that your carriages are ready, and it is time to return home. But not before, of course, exchanging addresses or perhaps times to call on one another. And then you are ushered back to your carriage, where you may or may not discuss what you thought of the night.
It was perfect. That's me.
You know, this is one of
I'm
those
crying.
rare nights where I don't regret Mother taking my books. Well, some of my books.
I was gonna say, you still got a few on you.
Well, of course. What if it was dreadful?
But it
Well,
wasn't because you grew up so much. You
I-
did so many things.
Oh goodness, the Countess gave you alcohol, didn't she?
Only a lot.
Only a
Alright.
bucket worth.
Well, I am very proud of both of you for finding people who certainly seem to admire you for you and being able to step out of your boxes. Mother will be proud of all of us, but I am also very proud of you.
The carriage trundles home.
I
You guys hug.
glomp her.
And you
Oh my
step out, and your mother is there to greet you. You step out, and she looks happy to see you guys. She's trying not to cry as well, because you're all grinning and you seem to have had a good time. Even though she tries to get information out of you about all that you experienced and saw. And she seems to be hopeful for the future as she helps you all out of your various accoutrements and dresses. Theodosa, she makes a stack of books she found as she helps you undress. She also steals away your lamp for the night so you can't stay up and read.
Not gonna be there anyway. I'm gonna be on the balcony writing a poem.
Oh, cute.
Oofy, she helps you out of your pumpkins as some of them fall to the floor. She rolls her eyes, but agrees. She agrees she'll help stitch them back on.
Thank you, Mommy.
And probably has a hangover cure ready for you tomorrow morning.
Very good.
And then she goes to Charlotte, helps her out of the dress, chuckles at the wand of smiles, even though it's obviously not needed. She kind of has been beaming for the last hour, and she thanks you for taking care of the other two, and looks quite proud, and says, "So, I gather it was worth it?"
It was very much worth it, Mama.
I don't expect, a marriage proposal tomorrow morning knocking at the door, but
I would be concerned if there was one.
but I hope for the best. She waggles her eyebrows.
I am working on it.
She nods, and then ushers you to bed, and she blows out the lanterns, then heads to bed for the night, glad that her girls are in good hands. You all sleep for the night, and you hear a knock on the door in the morning. One of you's hungover. One of you didn't go to bed in time, so maybe Charlotte gets it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
probably
that
about
makes
accurate.
Probably asleep on the balcony.
Probably. I'm like, oh, who's that? Don't be so loud.
Charlotte opens the door and is greeted by a constable. Excuse me, ma'am.
Sir?
I'm sorry to inform you, but we need to inform everybody because we need to know about what went on last night. But Lady Hensworth has been found dead. And that's where we're going to end it!
Oh my god.
Thank you guys for joining us. We hope it was a very interesting roller coaster ride.
Murder!
Whoever is listening to it, whether it's just us in the future, hope you are left with a cliffhanger that may never get an ending. It depends on how I
my
feel.
God.
But the good part of this was I got to fool around with mechanics and parties, and I hope my party had fun.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, to us in the future, if we're listening to this, hope your day's going well. To anybody else listening, thank you for listening.
Yeah, and you're capable of amazing things, whoever
You are capable of amazing things, including hiding 60 books in your corset.
Yes.
Try it.
Never say never.
All right, everybody,
And don't kill people.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.